Mike here tonight, and Doug, this is, I believe, the first season for what is California's version of USCS Racing.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. The inaugural season for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series, and it's been a good one so far. Melissa has really done an impeccable job of assembling a really good team of staff and drivers, and we got a great field on hand here tonight, Brian.
Speaking of the great field, qualifying will set the stage for heat races. Drivers drawing into their respective groups will have 5 groups. Here go 5 heat races. When they come out to qualify, it'll be split in half. So you'll have Group 1 will be split into Group 1A and Group 1B. Both of those groups will qualify against each other. So we'll have 5 cars on the track at a time. They'll get 4 laps to establish their quick qualifying time. Out of qualifying, a 4-car inversion into the heat races. So your quick qualifier can line up 4th in each of your qualifying groups. The heat race winner plus the fastest qualifying driver will move on into the redraw. If the fastest qualifying driver is your heat race winner, then first and second will advance on into the redraw. Out of the heat races, top 3 from each will advance on into the feature event. Everybody else dropping into one of 3 last chance qualifiers, taking 3 out of each of those to set the field for tonight's 30-lap feature event. 4 laps to qualify, 10 laps in heat races, 12 laps in each of your semi-feature events, and then 30 laps in tonight's A-Main. Doug, if fans want to find out more information on USCS, where do they need to go?
Best way to do that is just to hit the socials. Ultimate Sprint Car Series. I always just type in Ultimate and it pops right up. But you can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Facebook or look up Melissa herself. And I know it's spelled weird, but you'll have no problems finding them there. Again, keyword usually is Ultimate and Sprint Car Following, and you'll have no problem finding that on Instagram and Facebook.
Notice I keep referring to this as California's USCS. The USCS I'm accustomed to actually operates over in the Southeast as a Wing 360 Sprint Car Series, operated by Pete Walton and his family. Of course, this is the Ultimate Sprint Car Series, new to the California racing scene, so don't want to be confused, especially if you go onto the My Race Pass app and go, well, we're not in Tennessee and we're not racing in Alabama. No, there is a completely different USCS that's been around for over 20 years. They operate over in the southeast of the United States. This is the Ultimate Sprint Car Series. Speaking of the My Race Pass app, you can find lineups, results, live timing, and more throughout the course of tonight's racing program. Ventura Raceway on the My Race Pass app is where you are going to want to go. If you're on there, it should pop up based off of your geographic location. If you have location turned on, it'll be the closest racetrack to you, should be first on the list. Brian Drollinger out of San Pedro, California, the 71D, one of the drivers out to the racing surface. David Gasper out of Santa Barbara, the 18, rolling over into turns 1 and 2. I believe Hunter Maddox, the driver to Bloomington, Indiana, regular competitor with the United States Auto Club, making his way over into the back straightaway in the 0K. Chris Ennis out of Bakersfield. Size, Ways, Design, Bell Spy Optics number 86, making his way, getting the push over to turns 1 and 2. And of course, a series like this, not possible, of course, without the staff, the drivers, and of course, the sponsors. And Doug, you have several of those we need to talk about here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And we could not have done this without series sponsor Inland Rigging, Tommy Dunkel and Company. It's the 2024 inaugural season, and he was the primary sponsor. Inland Rigging is a machinery moving company based in Riverside, California. Of course, Tommy Dunkel's a 5th-generation mover. Family started the machinery moving business back in 1904. And again, here tonight, we definitely want to thank Porta Store. They were adding to Saturday night's purse. Porta Store is a 3rd-generation family-owned and operated portable storage container company located in Ventura since 1975. Also on board, helping out with the purse for tonight, I want to thank Chris Maroka and his Shirt Can Coatings Company out of Kapolei, Hawaii. I'm probably butchering that, near Honolulu, Hawaii. And I want to also thank Mike Mitchell and Quick Change Energy Drink, Quick Change Liquid Energy, added to Friday and Saturday's purses for the 83rd running of the Turkey Night Grand Prix. So definitely want to thank Quick Change Energy Drink for all their continued support throughout the season. And there will be several awards throughout the weekend that we will talk more about as the evening progresses. We've got qualifying cash awards, quick qualifier bonuses. We've got leader lap money. And of course, we're racing in honor of Chase Johnson in his road to recovery. And Chase, if you're watching here tonight, we are thinking about you, buddy. And we're just absolutely thrilled with the progress reports that we're seeing on the social medias, and hope that that just continues at the pace it is. You're a champion with all of us, buddy, and we're thinking about you. Connor Spear on the track out of Fillmore, California, and the Keith Spear entry, that's Air T with a Pinilla 360 under the hood. Connor, a rookie in the 360 sprint cars, so good to see him out here tonight. On the back straightaway, the green and white 17, one of the potent TDR entries. That is Rippin' Ricky Lewis out of Camarillo, who certainly knows his way around Ventura Raceway. The blue number 13, that's McGarren Butler in the Butler, and as he exits the track, talk more about him shortly. The 4 making his way through 3 and 4 and onto the front straightaway right now. That's Chargin' Charles Davis Jr. out of Buckeye, Arizona, in one of the Calderwood MPE entries. That's the Dayglow Yellow 4. Speaking of Dayglow Yellow, that's the stripe on the 17 going by you right now. That is another TDR entry. That one driven by the big game hunter Austin Williams out of Yorba Linda, California. And right behind him, the 8M machine. That is one of Jason May's entries. And we are glad to see Jake Andriotti back behind the wheel of the 8M from Castro Valley, California. On the front straightaway right now, the yellow 39. Good to have Jeff Dyer back in action. Jeff Dyer made a couple of starts since a really nasty crash middle of season at Paris Auto Speedway. Had a heck of a tumble in turns 1 and 2. Had a severe broken arm as a result of that crash, but we're glad to have him back in the Cal Sun entry, number 39 here tonight. And firing off on the back straightaway, the 14 is Blake Hendricks. Blake out of Simi Valley, California, in the Tom Hendricks machine that's familiar here at Ventura Raceway. Going by you on the front straightaway and heading into turn 1 and 2. That is Ojai, California's Jeremy Stout. He's the owner driver. It's a Maxim with a Shark 360. The car following him on the back straightaway now. Beautiful gray and black number 22. That's the Portastore entry of Brian Whitley out of right here, Ventura, California, driving his own machine. It's a DRC with an Al Parker 360. And Brian Whitley, a regular with the USC of sprint cars all season long, as is the number 15. You recognize Rick Hendricks on the front straightaway right now. Rick and Yumi own the car. That's the all-black number 15 out of Palmdale, California. Rick also a series sponsor with the RGWC on the side of the car. That's Rick's Gateworks. I want to thank them for their continued support throughout the season. Getting a look at home on FloRacing.com of track operator / promoter Jim Naylor. Definitely can't thank him for all the hard work. Can't thank him enough, that is, for all his hard work and for making that beautiful trophy. And Brian, I'm sure you've gotten a good look at the Agajanian 98 trophy that he built by hand.
You would expect nothing less when it comes to an event like Turkey Night.
Absolutely. And down there with him is the professor, Corey Cruzman, from the Corey Cruzman Driving Experience right here at Ventura Raceway. Firing off right now on the family number 21 in the Bender Pools machine. That is AJ Bender out of San Diego, California. AJ Bender had a win at Paris Auto Speedway with the USAC CRA Sprint Car Series earlier in the season. And on the front stretch right now, in the quick change liquid energy, number 73, that's the Josh Ford Motorsports entry tonight, driven by none other than C.J. Leary. C.J. Leary coming to us from Greenfield, Indiana. And trying to get fired. This is the second attempt here for the let's see, it's not this, this is a 5K, I believe, of Blaine Corey out of White City, Oregon. And that's part of the Ridgecrest Racing team. It's a Triple X with a Chevy 360 that they're trying to get fired underneath that hood.
Doug, someone want to touch on, you've mentioned a few cars have 410s, a few cars have 360s. Kind of explain the concept with this series and allowing both varieties of cubic inch displacements.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you asked, Brian. Thank you. That was the brainchild of Melissa. She said at the beginning of the year, we now have a defunct series of 360s, and we don't want these cars sitting around, but we know we've got a healthy group of 410s available to race at any given moment in the non-wing fashion. So she opened it up and basically said, we're going to run 360s, we're going to run restricted 410s. We'll run an 1 7/8 restrictor in the 410s to help level the playing field. And I tell you what, it's been about 50-50. The heat races have literally been split right down the middle, 410s and 360s. It's made it really competitive. It's opened up the competition. It's allowed for larger car counts. We've been averaging between 22 and 26 cars at each of our events this year. And it's really put on a heck of a show. And I tell you what, right here at Ventura Raceway, it's anybody's game. She actually put a poll up on the social medias earlier in the week asking who thought a 410 would win, who thought a 360 would win. It's almost divided in that fashion too as the votes came in, but really neat. Another thing that she's opened up is a tire rule. You'll see some of the cars on the track have an American Racer tire, and others have the familiar Hoosier that's more popular with the USAC divisions. So again, kind of a unique series, and that has opened up a little bit more of an opportunity for some of the cars that were possibly dormant throughout the season. And again, we'll talk more about that, both Hoosier and the American Racer Tire Southwest, giving up some prizes here tonight, both of them for hard charger. American Racer has offered up an American Racer right rear tire to the hard charger for tomorrow, as well as there's a bonus for hard charger. We'll talk more about it later, but Simpson Race Products has thrown out a really cool set of custom Chase Johnson racing gloves. So again, we'll talk a lot about these prizes, a whole slew of prizes. Can't thank all these sponsors enough for jumping on board here for the 83rd running of the Turkey Night Grand Prix. Let's see, we got the 57 Buffalo Wild Wings car out on the track right now. Yeah, that's Stevie Sussex out of Tempe, Arizona. That's a J&J chassis with a Wilcox 360 making the horsepower, and that's owned by Steve Stone. And it looks like we do have most of the cars, if not all of them, making their way onto the speedway for motor heat. Again, 50 cars on hand for the USCS Sprint Car Series event here tonight. And Brian, the Midgets will be busy as well with hot laps throughout the evening.
That is correct. The USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship will have hot lap sessions throughout the night's racing program. Depending on when things wrap up here tonight, we may have some on track after the races as well. If you missed the announcement, NASCAR's Ty Gibbs making his USAC National Midget debut this weekend. It will be a part of the CB Industries camp. Of course, Kyle Busch has been in action with us here on this West Coast swing, as has Kyle Larson. So some of the drivers out of NASCAR making their way back to their dirt roots. Looking at your results throughout the season here with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series. Started off here just up the road at Bakersfield with a 30-car field. Brody Roa picking up the win, going back-to-back at Bakersfield in April, then in May. First trip to Ventura, David Gasper topping a 25-car field. Santa Maria, Ryan Burnell going to Victory Lane. 2 nights of Ventura in July and then September. Chase Johnson picking up the win in July over a 33-car field. 26 cars on hand when Kayla Montgomery went to Victory Lane. September 14th, back here at Ventura, Austin Williams parking it on the front straightaway. And most recently, an 18-car field on hand at Kern County. And Kayla Montgomery going 7th to 1st.
Caleb Montgomery, the human highlight reel, as I call him affectionately, always has his cameras rolling in the cockpit.
The human highlight reel.
Yeah, absolutely. But check out his YouTube channel if you haven't done so. Usually on a Monday morning, he'll launch the most recent video. And he's got some good content, that's for sure.
So cars going to begin to make their way out to the speedway here. We should have our opening group of qualifying. So again, 5 groups. There go 5 heat races coming up here in just a little bit. Within those groups, drivers will qualify, 10 cars per group. And we're going to split them up. So in this group, you'll have 1A, then 1B, then you'll have 2A, then 2B, then so on and so forth. But again, everybody who is in qualifying group 1 will qualify against each other. Qualifying group 2, so think of it as qualifying against your heat race.
So qualifying for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series tonight, brought to you by Quick Change Energy Drink. Again, thank you to Mike Mitchell and to Randy Wright for bringing the product and bringing a $100 cash bonus for your quick qualifier tonight. Also, there's an overall quick time bonus of $124 for Chase Johnson, given to us by Keene Concrete. Want to thank Ryan Lester for putting up $124 bonus in addition to the $100 bonus from Quick Change Energy Drinks.
So the cards will begin to fire here for qualifying group 1A. This is the first group of qualifiers in group number 1. Brian Drollinger out of San Pedro, California on track. He is joined by the 15K. That is the driver to Hanford, California. Driver of the DKR Shark Power Triple X. FK Shocks number 15K. That's going to be Michael Facento. The 53 also on track. That is going to be Michael Pombo. He's out of Easton, California. Driven the Brands Downing CS9 chassis 410 power number 53. The 17B is Blake Bauer out of Brentwood, California. Driving the Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, one-way DRC chassis, BR Motorsports, King Racing Products. 410 power number 17B. He is your 2024 USCS champion. And the 87P, Jacob Tuttle out of Oakley, California. The Black Bear Diner of Oakley, SNS powered, Maxim chassis, Linex 360 powered, number 87P. Caution lights set to go dark. So again, drivers will get 4 laps to qualify. Fastest lap time will count towards their qualifying run. Green light will blink on around the Ventura Raceway. The field will begin to come to life here. Again, if you're just joining us on the FloRacing broadcast, group qualifying First half of group number 1 out to the speedway right now. Drivers only qualifying within the group they drew into, so the group they're in right now will be their heat race a little bit later on. As times will start to come in, 14:380 right now, the time they're all aiming for. As problems, we got one up into the wall, I believe Tuttle in the 87. So under caution here in qualifying group 1A. Again, Jacob Tuttle, the driver, up into the concrete over in turn number 3. 3 drivers so far have received time. One driver into the 13-second bracket here, Blake Bauer, right before we went yellow to the 13.885. Drollinger at a 14.380, had the quick qualifying time for a moment, and Pombo to 15.404. Couple of drivers just a wee bit tight. We see him driving more like dump trucks over in turns 3 and 4 a couple of times.
Yeah, Brian, no question that Blake Bauer out of Brentwood, California, in that Tom and Christy Dunkel number 17 car, the black and white car in the back straightaway, right in front of Ventura Raceway sign, had a quick lap early. He was your USCS inaugural champion. So Ultimate Sprint Car Series champion Blake Bauer going by you on the front straightaway right now. Of course, it was early. Yeah, in fact, Blake Bauer, again, your champion with 1,453 points. Falling behind him, it was a heck of a battle. Cole Wakeham with 1,447, just shy of his first series championship. Eddie Tafoya Jr. was third with a 1,346. John DeWeese was fourth. Brian Whitley rounded out the top 5 in the 2024 inaugural season for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series. Also on hand tonight, Ryan Timmons, Blake Hendricks, Austin Williams, Rick Hendricks, and Tom Dunkel, and Cammie Bell.
So unfortunately, a little bit too much damage on the front of the number 87, so dangling from the back of the recovery vehicle. Able to get a look, and the front end sitting askew.
Yeah, tough break for the Oakley, California native Jacob Tuttle. That's the family car. He ran a couple of series races earlier this season with USCS sprint cars with some help from Ted Fingenbinder in the familiar 3F machine.
Outside of USCS competition, picked up a couple of wins, July 13th up at Placerville and then Antioch on July 27th. So it's been a successful season for Tuttle, but off to a rough start here in qualifying. Of course, tonight, only a taste of the 83rd running of the ARP Turkey Night Grand Prix presented by West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame. Of course, featuring the championship 98-lap feature event for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Ultimate Sprint Car Series will be back on the card tomorrow. Top 42 in points after tonight. They are running for points every time they are on the track. They will advance on and be able to compete in tomorrow's racing action. As problems, we got one down facing broadside to the field there at the exit turn number 2.
Yeah, that's Brian Drollinger out of San Pedro, California, and he just got a little too sideways, a little quick on the trigger, trying to exit turn number 4. That put him up on the inside berm and high-sided him. So tough break for Brian Drollinger in the 71D. I believe it's only the 3rd start, possibly 2nd, but definitely no more than 3 starts for Brian Drollinger. Of course, he's no stranger to Ventura Raceway and a Midget. Actually, before that, Outlaw Karts back in the day. And we see, looks like the right front just exited the Jacob Tuttle machine as he tried to take the car off of the speedway. picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel.
So getting everybody back pointed the right direction, we try again here. If you're just joining us in the FloRacing broadcast, you haven't missed much here. Qualifying in group number 1 underway. Got a couple of cautions to start things off. Jacob Tuttle in the 87 and Drollinger in the 71. Drollinger able to stay on track. Tuttle got into the wall. Unfortunately, too much damage on his machine as Pombo coming around. Lap number 4 was a 13:105 for a moment. Had quick time, everybody coming around though, and see how things shake out as they come to the way with the white flag. Checkered flag about to drop. Again, 4 laps to establish time. And want to make sure everybody gets 4 fair laps. A lot of smoke now pouring off of the number 53 machine. And Pombo looks like oil starting to pour out onto the headers here as he will take her onto the back straightaway. Checkered flag has flown, and Blake Bauer in the 17B, quickest so far, a 12:527. Michael Facento at a 12:732. Pombo at a 12:969. And Drollinger at a 13:513. So 4 drivers have taken time. Tuttle, unfortunately, contact with the wall, knocked the right front off. Will not be able to come out and take a time. So the next group of cars coming out to the speedway will continue here in qualifying group number 1. This will be group 1B.
Rolling out on the speedway, you see the Red Deuce out of Phoenix, Arizona. That's J.J. Yaley driving for Jack Yaley. The Avanti Windows and Doors, Apache Transport, CK Electric, High Performance Lubricants. It's a twister chassis with a Mopar 410. The white and black number 57 making his way on his, that's the 57S out of Fillmore, California, driving for Keith Spear in the Channel Islands Floor Coverings, Area Rug Factory, Maxwell Industries, ARP Bolts, JN Designs, FK Rod Ends, P1 Kitty Performance. It's an ART chassis with a Pinella 360. The 57S is Connor Spear. The 29T out of Pleasant Hill, California, driving for David and Lisa Timmons in the Red Line Oil, Evergood Fine Foods, Timmons Auto Truck and RV Repair, Snap-on Tools, Rob Lewis, Vintage Color Studios, Improbe Environmental. It's a Maxim with a Timmons 410. It's Ryan Timmons in the 29T. The 44 out of Lakeside, California is Brent Sexton in the East County Electric Works, Keys Brothers, BR Motorsports, Maxima Oil, Automated Interiors, Sexton Gatlin Racing, Sexton Fire Protection. It's a Shaver 360 with a Triple X chassis. That's the 44 of Brent Sexton. The 57 AZ out of Tempe, Arizona, is driving for Steve Stone in the Buffalo Wild Wings Bear Rubbers. Realtor 57, it's a J&J with a Wilcox 360. The 57 AZ is Stevie Sussex. All right, again, 4 laps in qualifying for Group 1A of the USCS Sprint Cars. 5 cars onto the speedway. Good to see the cars spread out around the Ventura Raceway. First lap will be J.J. Yaley with a 13:009. Ryan Timmons now goes to the top with a 12:345. Tyler Edwards in the 57 with a 13:028. Brent Sexton with a 13.525. As the white flag waves, one more trip around Ventura for each of the cars. And J.J. Yaley's smoking a little out of the left bank there. And checkered flag will fall. And after this second session of qualifying, still at the top of the leader group is the 29 tier. Ryan Timmons with a 12.211. J.J. Yaley now second quick with a 12.462. Blake Bauer still holding third. Michael Facinto is still fourth. Brent Sexton now fifth with a 12.789. And Tyler Edwards in sixth with a 12.807. Continuing down the list, Michael Pombo is seventh quick so far in the 53 with a 12.969. Connor Spear holding on to eighth in the 57S with a 13.070. And Brian Drollinger rounding out the 9 that have taken time so far with a 13.513.
Qualifying for group number 2, set to get underway. Again, we'll split this in half. We'll have 5 and 5 out to the Speedway. Group number 2A. Roll out. We expect Cody Gray out of Auburn, California, the Turnbull family, Pinella powered ART chassis number 4G to be on track. He'll be joined by James Turnbull, the James Yost title, RNS Drywall Factory Kane, Indy Race Parts number 2J. The 8M also set to be in this first group. Out of Castro Valley, California, the May Motorsports, DRC chassis, Cooper's Propane number 8M, that's going to be Jake Andriotti. Charles Davis Jr. to Buckeye, Arizona, the MP Environmental, Black Magic V-Breaker, Chuck D's Wieners, Jocko Sprint Parts number 4C, also set to be in Group 2A, as is the 51. Driver to Bakersfield, driving the Race Pod Motorsports, Van Meter powered, Spike chassis, PT Machine 5-1 truck at number 51, that is Brody Fusen. Brody Fusen in the 51. Again, among the 5 drivers that will make up Group 2A here in qualifying for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. Again, the way to follow along tonight is via My Race Pass. The My Race Pass app is where you can find all the rosters, lineups, results, as well as live timing and scoring if you do have a premium membership to My Race Pass. A quick reminder, anything you see out to social media, whether it is on My Race Pass or USCS social media channels, is unofficial. And I believe Drake York down trackside with an update.
Thank you so much, Brian. And AJ Bender, who is supposed to be in this group of highlights with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging, just pushed off the racetrack, and track officials telling me they are struggling getting that 21 car into gear. So tough break for the winner of the 2021 Turkey Night Grand Prix Sprint Car Race.
Thank you very much, Drake. So Fusen in the 51 here on the front straightaway. Charles Davis Jr., the MP Environmental number 4, making his way past the flag stand. Tarleton number 21. Carson Macedo on the speedway as well. Let's begin to wind him up again. 4 laps. -1 in this group, Stevie Rogers out of Apple Valley, California. drawn in, but has not made the call, so we will roll on. Supposed to be in this group, did cross the start-finish line, but not seeing the car on track right now. As Carson Macedo so far, his opening lap time, the quickest one here out of 4 attempts at a 12.247. Turnbull currently second at a 12.509. Charles Davis Jr. at 12.620. Brody Hewson at a 12.902, and Cody Gray 13.298. Hewson improving a little bit on lap number 3. But Macedo kicking off qualifying Group 2. Quick qualifier so far, 12.247. Again, 4-car inversion out of qualifying in each of these groups. That'll put your quick qualifier to the right of row number 2. Top 3 in each of the heats going to move on. It is the heat race winner plus the fastest qualifying driver that go into the redraw. If the fast qualifying driver is the heat race winner, then first and second will go into the redraw. Next group of cars are going to make their way out to the speedway.
You see the black and gray number 22 out of Ventura, California. That's Brian Whitley in the Brian Whitley-owned Porta Store, Trent Shoring, HP Enterprise, No Limit Powder Coating, JFM, and Brian Whitley Motorsports DRC with an Al Parker 360. Stevie Rogers did not make the call. We have the 84 machine out of Fresno, California. Aaron Althofer is the owner-driver. It's Bear State Electric, Warren Dorothy, Girl Gang XXX with a Shaver 410. Also making his way onto the track, the 6 Logan Calderwood out of Goodyear, Arizona, driving for Rex Calderwood in the MP Environmental Services. Black Magic Beadbreaker, Chuck D's Wieners, and JFM. It's a XXX with a one-way 410. Jake Andriotti, we talked about him just a few moments ago, out of Castro Valley, California, in the 8M machine on the front straightaway right now. Elite Signs, Hot Head Heaters, May Motorsports, RDM Mechanics, TJM Distribution, DRC with the windshield, and the white flags waving. So far, Carson Macedo still quickest, but of this group, Logan Calderwood, a good lap of a 12.627 puts him fourth. Cody Gray in the 4G with the 13.202. Aaron Althofer clocks in with a 13.509. Brian Whitley jumps up to fifth now with a 12.830. So no change in your top 2. Group 2A, Carson Macedo still holding strong. James Turnbull second, but Charles Davis Jr. bumps up to third with a 12.620. Logan Calderwood, the teammate, right behind him with a 12.627. 7/1,000 separate the teammates. Brian Whitley is in fifth with a 12.830. That'll wrap up group number 2. And you see rolling out now session group number 3 for the USCS Sprint Cars.
Qualifying group number 3 will begin to make its way down into the infield. Again, splitting up 3A, 3B. 1 lap to warm up, 4 laps to establish time. So 10 cars set for qualifying group number 3. All 10 have made their way down into the infield. Again, we'll split them in half, 5 and 5. First car to push, Chris Ennis out of Bakersfield, California. Driving the Bell Spy Optics 360 engine performance, System 1. 86 Motorsports number 86, going to roll out to the speedway. The driver in X, the Avenger chassis with a 4-barrel carbureted 360 under the bonnet. The Q&A Transport, Vector Mosquito Control. X, that is Bob Newberry. Bob Newberry in the X. The 5E rolling in the back straightaway, Alexa Herrera out of Coyama, California, driving the Bill's Jerky Triple X JPS Power number 5E, and the 5K also on track. That is going to be Blaine Corey out of White City, Oregon, driving the Ridgecrest Racing, Ridgecrest Homes, American Flow Tech Triple X Chevrolet 360 number 5K. Looks like one more driver on track, and that is none other than Matt Mitchell. He's Eddie Gorbalinda, California, driving the Riley Racing, Channel Island floor coverings, Donna-powered Maxim chassis, Valco Will Simpson, number 37. As problems for the Avenger chassis entry, the X of Newberry coming to a stop here on the front straightaway. Everybody having to designate whether they have a 360 or a 410 beneath the hood. He is the only one that I saw on the entry list that designated with a 4-barrel carbureted engine. So back in Oklahoma, we call that a champ sprint.
Yeah, more affectionately known as a spec sprint here in NorCal.
So essentially somebody had a hobby stock engine and wanted to race sprint cars.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely. Definitely don't hate that. Good to see Bob Newberry running with us here tonight out of Brentwood, California.
Hopefully they can figure out what's going on and get him back out here in competition. Of course, unfortunately, his qualifying run will come to a close, so that will place him to the back of heat race number 3 a little bit later on. Couple of cars by, able to get some times here. Matt Mitchell so far quickest, a 12.869. Nearly a half-second faster than Chris Ennis right now at a 13.283. Blaine Corey and Alexa Herrera, 4 drivers who have taken time thus far as we go back to green. In 1 to warm up, 4 to establish your time. Those of you just joining us here on the FloRacing broadcast with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. Find them on Facebook for more information on everything happening with this newly fledged series, wrapping up their inaugural season of competition. Matt Mitchell every time getting faster and faster, a 12.40 on lap number 4. Blaine Corey improving on lap number 3 to a 12.873. Chris Ennis, lap number 4, his best attempt at a 13.033. And Alexa Herrera, lap number 4, her best attempt at a 13.846. But so far, the mark to beat, a 12.40 here in Group 3 qualifying. Flight A drivers going to make their way back to the pit area. Matt Mitchell, 12.40.
Firing off right now on the back straightaway with a 78 comes to us from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. That's Brody Wake. Ryan Wake owns the car. It's an Ostrich 360 with a Triple X chassis. Just ahead of him, out of Anaheim, California, the 17X's Jake Swanson. Cars owned by Ava Dunkel, sponsored by Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, HBC, King Race Products, BR Motorsports, and JFM. It's a DRC with a one-way 410. Also making his way out onto the speedway from Goleta, California, in the Brett Butler Built Racing Invictus Luxury Automotive Detailing LLC, it's McGarren Butler. That's a stealth chassis with a Butler 360 under the hood and the 13M. And also onto the track, another TDR entry out of Yorba Linda, California, Ava Dunkel, Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms. The 17W is the big game hunter, Austin Williams. It's a DRC chassis with a Gressman 410. And we did not mention second in series points, the number 9. That is Cole Wakeham out of Simi Valley, California. Chris Wakeham owns the car. And as I say that, Cole loses power heading into turn number 3, unless he's just trying to gap. But that really loaded up Austin Williams and Jake Swanson behind him. Looks like he's full power now in his Triple X with a one-way 410. White flag waves. Jake Swanson launched up to second quick now with a 12.497 in the 17X. Austin Williams goes into third with a 12.747. Aaron Butler clocks into 13.734. That's good enough for eighth quick so far. Cole Wakeham sits in fourth now with a 12.790. But still at the top of the charts for group number 3 is Matt Mitchell with a 12.400. And that'll wrap up the third session of qualifying for the USCS Sprint Cars.
So 2 groups remain. We'll have 4 flights coming out to the Speedway. Again, 50 drivers drawing in for competition here on night number 1. The appetizer for the 83rd running of the ARP Turkey Night Grand Prix presented by West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame. As I mentioned earlier, the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship will be intertwined in the program here tonight for some hot laps, and of course they will be top of the bill tomorrow. 98 laps, $15,000 to the winner. The trophy and the Aggie, all presented down on Victory Lane.
Want to thank each and every one of you that showed up early tonight for the 83rd running of the Turkey Night Grand Prix right here at Ventura Raceway. Also, definitely, again, want to thank each and every one of you tuning in live to FloRacing.com. Great to have you on board, whether you're live or even catching the replay at FloRacing.com.
So qualifying for the drivers in group number 4. Getting underway. It's like the 21B, AJ Bender out of San Diego, California, driver the Bender Pull and Spa. Matrix Construction Services, K&R Motorsports. Schaefer 410 Power, DRC chassis number 21B. Onto the Speedway, rolling on the backside. Over towards turns 3 and 4. Over here in turns 1 and 2 out of Salina, Oklahoma. The No Limit Powder Coatings, FK Rod Ends, JST Shock Technology. Tops up here by Quality Threads, Velox Racing number 57 of Tyler Edwards. Tyler Edwards out of Salina, Oklahoma. The 10 of Jeremy Stout out of Ojai, California, driving the Greg Wrench Shark-powered Maxim chassis. European Wax Center, Billy's Tequila number 10. As the field will begin to come to life here for qualifying in group number 4. CJ Leary out of Greenfield, Indiana, driving the JFM Shurkan MP Environmental, Nutri Berry Growers Inland Rigging, 410 Powered, Triple X chassis number 73. At speed onto the back straightaway. And I believe one more driver to tell you about this one. That is the 18, David Gasper out of Santa Barbara. Kittle Gasper Motorsports, Schaefer 410 Power, DRC chassis, Valley Precision Products, Martin Roofing, number 18. Time starting to come in, and CJ Leary. 12.513 so far with the quickest driver, AJ Bender. Coming around, lap number 3, better, 12.164. Going to jump to the top of the charts here. Leary back to second. Gasper, a 12.591, currently holding on to third. Field coming around to the wave of the white. Now is the drop of the checker. And lap number 1 will remain the best attempt for CJ Leary. AJ Bender, better 3 times in a row. Lap number 3 at 12.164. CJ Leary at 12.513. David Gasper at 12.591. Tyler Edwards, the Oklahoman, at a 12.826. And Jeremy Stout at a 13.216 second lap.
Getting a push and firing right now in the OK out of Bloomington, Indiana. It's Hunter Maddox, normally a regular with the USAC National Series Sprint Cars. Cars owned by Kenny Perkins, sponsored by the Sprint Car Driving Experience, Specialty Fasteners, Auto Credit. It's a Maxim with a Perkins 360. Behind him, the 73. From El Cajon, California, is a 17 73B, OCC Motorsports, AM Ortega Construction. That's Braden Shiramonte. It's a Maxim with a Kistler 410. Also on the track, the CHP Officer from Lomita, California, in the 39 Cal Sun entry. That is Jeff Dyer. Jeff Dyer in the 39D. And also on the Speedway, the 21T car out of Lemoore, California, driving for Tommy Tarleton in the Tarleton & Sons Factory Cane Complete Parts and Equipment. It's a Maxim with a Rider 360. The 21T is Cole Macedo. Cole Macedo in that black and silver car. The only way you can really distinguish it from brother Carson, who has the gold trim in the Tarleton & Sons machine. White flag and a wave. AJ Bender still sits on top. Tyler Edwards, the quickest of this group so far with a 12.826. He sits fourth quick. Braden Shiramonte with a 12.868 is sixth quick. And now Hunter Maddox in the 0K jumps up to fourth quick with a 12.806. Great lap for Hunter Maddox. Jeffrey Dyer in the 39D clocking in with a 12.941 just as the checkered flag falls. And Cole Macedo up to sixth quick in the 21T with a 12.867. But AJ Bender still the quickest of group number 4 with a 12.164. Second was CJ Leary in the JFM 73X with a 12.513. Third of that group was the 18 of the Gasser, David Gasper, with a 12.591. Next up will be the fifth and final group of 10 cars. Again, we'll split these in half again. It'll be 5A and 5B, 5 cars each. We will have 5 heat races this evening for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series. 5 10-car heats. And all 10 cars make their way onto the speedway.
Final 2 group of drivers going to make their way out for their qualifying sessions. The 29, Cammie Bell out of Bakersfield, California. The 2 girls garage, Bell KPC chassis. AR Creations number 29C rolling out to the speedway. Rick Hendricks out of Palmdale, California. Driver of the Shark Powered Max at number 15, rolling into turns 1 and 2. Blake Hendricks out of Simi Valley, California, driving the McKenna Coffee, Snap-on Tools, Roadrunner Hose and Fittings, Chevrolet Powered, number 14. Also on track, rolling down here on the front straightway. The 39R, Mark Henry Jr., Antelope Acres, California, driving the Kittle Motorsports, Henry Powered, Triple X chassis number 39. And the 3F, Daniel Whitley out of Ferndale, California, the Fink Combiner DRC entry. Look out. We got one orbiting the racetrack over here at the exit of turn number 4. I believe
that's
that
the
is
14 of Blake Hendricks. Blake Hendricks out of Simi Valley, California, getting a refire in the black number 14, going by in the front straightaway right now. Just got a little too high up in the loose stuff in turn number 4. Gave a little too much gas and spun around.
Cars back at speed, and thus far, Caleb Henry at a 12.364. Second time around, his best attempt, a 13.093 for Rick Hendrick. Blake Hendricks at a 12.281. Mark Henry at 12.753. Cammy Bell to 14.252 thus far. Checker flag about to come out here for qualifying group 5A. And Cammy getting the car a little bit sideways there at the exit to number 4, able to get the car back squared up underneath her. As Caleb Montgomery so far with a mark to beat, a 12.364. Lap number 2, the best for all but one. Mark Henry, lap number 3, his best attempt. It was Rick Hendricks in second, Blake Hendricks in third, Mark Henry and Cammy Bell, the 5 fastest thus far. Final 5 drivers here in qualifying making their way out.
Sean Deskins, the first to fire in the red and white number 20 out of Phoenix, Arizona, in the Sean Deskins Racing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Racing Optics, Bell Racing, Simpson Race Products, DRC with a Don Ott 360. Behind him, the 3F. That is Daniel Whitley out of Ferndale, California, and the Ted Finkenbinder Motorsports with a DRC chassis and a Finkenbinder 360 making the horsepower. Behind them, the Navy veteran out of Lemoore, California, driving for Peggy DeWeese in the 63D. That's John DeWeese in the King Race Products Willett Ranch. It's a Triple X with a Howells 360. Also on the speedway, the blue, number 29, that's Brent Yarnell out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's the owner driver. He's sponsored by Buzzard Pest Control, M&D Enterprise. It's an Ellis chassis with a Yarnell 360. And the driver in the TDR, white number 17 with the green trim. That is none other than Rippin' Ricky Lewis out of Camarillo, California. Ava Dunkel, Inland Rigging, D's Transport, Physical Medicine Consultant, Morris Farms, Dunkel Farms, DRC chassis with a Stensland 410. Ricky Lewis jumps up to the second spot with a 12.564. Sean Deskins clocking in with a 13.530. That's good enough for 8th. Ricky Lewis now to the top with a 12.342. That's the quickest of the 5th and final group so far, as we have just a couple of corners left. Daniel Whitley jumps up to the 3rd spot with a 12.673. John DeWeese sitting in 4th with a 12.880 in that 63D. So again, by the numbers, Ricky Lewis in the 17 was quickest of that group. 2nd was the 3 of Caleb Montgomery. 3rd was the 3F of Daniel Whitley. 4th was the 63D of John DeWeese. 5th was the 15 of Rick Hendricks. And right behind him, in 6th spot was the 14 of Blake Hendricks. No relation, totally different spellings of the last name. 7th was Mark Henry in the 39R. 8th was the 20 of Sean Deskins. 9th was the 29C of Cammy Bell. And rounding out the top 10, the 29 was Brent Yarnell. That's going to wrap it up for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series qualifying, brought to you by Inland Rigging. Again, your quick qualifier will get a $100 cash award from Quick Change Energy Drink, thanks to Mike Mitchell and company. And the overall quick time will also receive a $124 bonus from Keene Concrete. Thank you so much to Ryan Lester. I'm going to turn it back over to Brian Holbert, who's got midgets on the speedway for the first time tonight.
Also want to thank Ethan sending me a message on Facebook, kind of talking about that 4-barrel carbureted engine, saying, well, She's a far cry from a hobby stock engine, but also not quite spec either. But really want to thank him for providing a little bit of information and some insight on the way the engines are set up on that 4-barrel class.
So congratulations to AJ Bender out of San Diego, California for being your quick qualifier with the USCS Sprint Cars. A quick time of 12.164 around Ventura Raceway. Earned him a $100 cash award from Quick Change Liquid Energy Drinks, as well as the $124 bonus from Keen Concrete. Congrats to AJ Bender. Brian, I tell you what, I just could not get enough of this weather. Typically, historically, Ventura Raceway, most beautiful pits in the world, right here on the sand on the beautiful coast of California. But this weather, historically, at this race is a little bit chilly, and today was just absolutely beautiful.
Stop. You're going to jinx
Hovering
us.
close to 70 degrees, just a slight breeze, just absolutely amazing out here today. I'm enjoying the heck out of this show, and I appreciate.
You're trying to anger the weather gods. You need to stop talking about the weather.
No, I think that's behind us. I think we've got a really good weekend in store here in beautiful Southern California. It's been a pleasure to be up here in the booth with you. I've just been hooked to the broadcast on FloRacing.com with you all season long with your national series, and doing a heck of a job. And just, again, it's been a pleasure to be up here alongside you tonight.
Appreciate you coming up here. Of course, the season-long announcer in USCS competition. The USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship on track for their first flight of hot laps here tonight. Of course, we'll have these practice sessions interwoven throughout the racing program. Drivers on track include Cale Drake at Collinsville, Oklahoma, driver of the Eibach Toyota, PageKC.com, Link Chassis, Speedway Toyota number 97K. He rolls through turns 3 and 4. On the back straightaway, we had Corey Day out of Clovis, California, driver of the Durr Sander Engineering, 4Cs Construction, Bobworth Mopar, bullet by Spike, number 4. Driver making his USAC National Midget debut up at Bakersfield. Unfortunately, an electrical issue sidelining him in his heat race, forcing him into the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event, where he came up one spot shy. Moving on, the driver to Las Vegas, Nevada, driver of the Lucas Oil Products, FloRacing.com, Speedway Powered, Link Chassis number 51B. That is Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch in the 51B. 71K also on track. That is Cannon McIntosh out of Bixby, Oklahoma. The Gear Rinse TRD Mobile 1 Curb Record, Speedway Total Link Chassis number 71K. As the field will come to speed here for practice session number 1. Tanner Carrick back on track out of Lincoln, California, driving the Toyota Racing Development Mobile 1 Curb Records. Eibach KKM Curbing at Janie in number 98 at speed over into turns 3 and 4. Matthew Radisich out of Auckland, New Zealand, also on track of the Heritage Nut Farm TNT Trucking. Stanton Powered Spike Chassis number 14. So Corey Day at a 12:154 so far, the quickest here in this first flight of practice. Cannon McIntosh currently second quick. 12:229. Ryan Timms at a 12:367. Emerson Axum also on track in the 67K at a 12:405. Tanner Carrick currently fifth quick at a 12:588. checker flag will drop here in your opening flight of practice for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Corey Day, 12.039, his best attempt, puts him atop of the speed charts right now. Cannon McIntosh a 12.190, Ryan Timms a 12.367 rather. Emerson Axum 12.405, and Tanner Carrick a 12.462.
Boy, super impressive a day with that 20-year-old Mopar motor that Cale Kane pulled out of the rafters somewhere and stuck into that 4 machine. Pretty impressive.
Gavin Miller, the sound gear, curb, KKM, curb Jr., number 97, the driver to Pennsylvania, pushing out to the speedway. Right up the road in Elk Grove, California, the FloRacing.com, HendrickCars.com, KNC Drywall, Durst JVI Group, Silva Motorsports, Speedway Powered EMI number 1K. That is Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, the 4-time champion of Turkey Night, making his way onto the back straightaway. Getting upside down to Bakersfield, the car A-OK, back together and ready to go for Buddy Kofoid at Pine Grove, California. Driver the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records, IWX number 71. Jacob Denny at Galloway, Ohio, the Trent Shoring, Rodilla Fabrication, FK Roddins, Ed Pink Powered Link Chassis, Tom Malloy owned number 25. Got the push around, looks like though not wanting to fire, so they will go ahead and take that car back into the pit area. Your 2024 Avante Windows and Doors USAC Western States Midget Champion, Cade Lewis at Bakersfield, rolling into turns 1 and 2. The Wireless 101 Speedway Toyota, Dean Alexander owned Ebco Off-Road 101 machine. Saw him on screen there just a second ago. The driver of Indianapolis, Indiana, the NOS Energy Drink, FloRacing.com, KNC Drywall, EMI Speedway Power number 23C. Here at the flag stand, that's Sunshine, Tyler Courtney. Tyler Courtney in the 23C. Set to be in action at Bakersfield, came out to hot lap problems, unfortunately sidelining him for the remainder of the evening. Abby Holbein out of Cloverdale, Ohio, driving the JFM HP Enterprises Chevrolet Triple X chassis, Lambert Motorsports number 55. As she rolls onto the back straightaway, one of the regular competitors with the USAC Speed D2 Midget Series back in Indiana. Buddy Kofoid, the 2024 World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars Kevin Gobrecht Rookie of the Year. Talking to Bo Bender, who turns the wrenches on these cars down in the pit area, said the landing was direct right on those front down tubes, just squared up. So Buddy said that hit was about the worst one. And kind of a good and bad situation. Bad because it obviously kind of jarred Buddy a little bit, but good because it kept the car from getting kinked up and diamond. So they're able to get the car back together, everything measured out right, and he is back at speed here. Again, Corey Day so far the quickest driver in these opening rounds of practice at a 12.039 second lap. Day, one of the high rollers in the field, regular competitor with the Kubota High Limit Series throughout the course of the 2024 season. Amassing a dozen wins this year, including picking up the opening 8 feature up at Merced. Here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Second midget victory of the season. Of course, won his preliminary night up at the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink. And 8 times a winner in high limit competition. Also got a win with the World of Outlaws back in Knoxville in June. As Kofoid right now the quickest driver on track. Third quick overall at a 12.355. Kofoid, an 8-time winner this season, 7 times with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Oh, look out, Kyle Larson. Taking the Joker line down through turn number 2, kind of bah-hotter a little bit. We'll take the FloRacing.com for 1K down through the infield, get her turned back around and point in the right direction. Kofoid, another driver that picked up a win up in Chili Bowl competition during preliminary night competition this season. As Kofoid, quickest on track, third quick overall right now at a 12.355. Corey Day remains quickest, 12.039. McIntosh at 12.190. Kofoid at 12.355. Ryan Timms at 12.367. Emerson Axon fifth quick at a 12:4:05. Then it was Courtney, Larson, Carrick, Miller, and Kay Lewis. Making it to the top 10. They're separated by 0.636 seconds. One of the drivers starting to move up out of the Dirt 2 Media National Open Wheel 600 Series out of Oklahoma. The driver is out of Spring Branch, Texas. Driver the Banks Power Hams Oil Smith Titanium number 19. That was Alex Karpowitz, who was just on frame here in the FloRacing broadcast. 3P, Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona. The Avanti Windows and Doors, Beaver Stripes, Apache Transport, CK Electric, Stanton Spike Chassis number 3P. Great to see the 50 back on track. Dane Culver at Riverside, California. The Bryce Becker Photography, iBox Springs, Spy Optics, Straight Edge Custom Painting, Pit Viper Lights, Mint Print Company. Number 50 taking a hard hit up into the fence. Up at Merced. Macedo leading, unfortunately, hooked a rut, and that sailed him right into the side of the number 50 machine. And off the track he went. The right rear actually poking out through the fence and kind of getting wrapped up in the chain link a little bit. The crew bowing out of Bakersfield, but set to be in competition here tonight. Unfortunately, looks like problems continue as no fire underneath the hood of the number 50 machine. Kaylee Bryson on track at Muskogee, Oklahoma. She rolls off at turn number 2 right now with the Indy Power Sports, Mission Roofing, Southern Pacific Farms, Audiology Associates, CGCPA's, Indy Custom Stone, Abacus Racing, number 58. Dason Pursley also on track, points leader. Coming into the final weekend of competition here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, leads by 30 markers. He's out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the pristineauction.com, NOS Energy Drink, CB Industries, Toyota Racing Development, number 86. 2024 USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Champion. Out of Sutter, California, driving the McVeigh Trucking. Indy Custom Stone number 57, Logan Seavey, going to be on track here in just a little bit. That is the 57 KT. Kevin Thomas Jr., the Indy Fuel. Those are nuts and bolts, Stanton Spike Chassis, CGCPA's, Abacus Racing number 57 KT. Read the press release, said he was getting a little bit of FOMO. Called up Brent Cox and the Abacus Racing team, and they had a ride for him. He was able to make his way out, turn some laps here at Turkey Night. As that Prime 47 entry, a little bit of smoke coming off of the engine here as he makes his way around onto the back straightaway. And caution. Muffler sitting down on the speedway. Looks like over just out of the racing groove in turn number 3. Field back to green. Another driver on track we haven't talked about, Brody Graham in Bakersfield, California, driving BGR Racing. We, Race Palm Motorsports, B&B Oilfield Consulting, Western Metalcraft, Stanton Spike Chassis number 66. Looks like J.J. Yaley also on track. Driving to Phoenix, Arizona, the Avanti Windows and Doors, Beaver Stripes, Apache Transport, Esslinger Spike Chassis number 3J. Yaley we saw in the Cactus Jack number 2 earlier here with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series, presented by Inland Rigging. 2003 USAC Triple Crown champion. Rolling on to the backside of the speedway. All eyes on two drivers this weekend, though. Dason Pursley, the number 86, and Cannon McIntosh in the 71K. Cannon has been steadily whittling on the advantage held by Dason Pursley coming into this final swing, and he has taken it down to 30. So coming out to the West Coast swing, 87 points separated those top two drivers. It's down to 30. Car coming to a stop there over in turn number 3, bring us into yellow flag conditions. We're going to wind them up here just a little bit. Corey Day remains quickest at a 12.039. Dason Pursley now second quick. He is the quickest driver on track at the moment at a 12.167. Cannon McIntosh at 12.190. Buddy Kofoid a 12.355, and Ryan Timms now fifth quick at a 12.367. A couple sessions ago, top 10 were separated by a little over 0.6 of a second, now separated by 0.442. Look out, the 65. Going up in a plume of smoke. Ben Kovic of Auckland, New Zealand. His Esslinger RSI looked like it might have gone up in smoke down the front straightaway. He sits down in the infield. In the King Composites, standard vertical panel storage. Spike chassis, Kovic Motorsports number 65. And on cue, I believe Drake York with an update.
Yeah, Brian, I just talked to Ben Kovic, of course, the driver of the 65 NZ. We saw a big plume of smoke off of his car towards the end of that session of dirt draft practice, and a lot of fluid coming out from the motor underneath the 65 NZ. He told me, I think it just blew up. So tough break for Ben. Hopefully, it's not an end-all be-all here, as we want to see him back here tomorrow here at the Ventura Raceway for the Turkey Night Grand Prix.
Indeed, thank you very much. Cars continuing to make 63, Cale Coons at Greencastle, Indiana, driving the dueling machine. JT Ford CSI, Stanton Shores chassis number 63. Ronnie Gardner out of Corona, California, the CSI JST Shocks Trico Construction, Esslinger BB7 Stewart chassis number 68. He will make his way over into turns 1 and 2. The driver behind him out of Palm Desert, California, driving the Cactus Jacks Midwest Glass and Aluminum, Stanton Spike chassis number 20. That is CJ Sarna. CJ Sarna in the 20. Driver debuting with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship at Charlotte, North Carolina. Driver the NOS Energy Drink. PristineAuction.com, Speedway Toyota Spike number 81. That is Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs in the number 81. And Gibbs coming to a stop over in turn number 2 in that pristineauction.com. Toyota Racing Development number 81. Jake Andriotti, another driver on track in the Castro Valley, California. The High Heads Engine Heaters, Esslinger Spike, Pete Davis owned 00. Todd Haas in the 18 at Simi Valley, California, driving the Southern California Electric Firm Chevrolet Triple X. Haas Abbey Carpet, 18. As the field getting ready to wind back up here in practice. Again, these will be interwoven throughout the night as the Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. Taking top bill of the card here this evening. Of course, tomorrow, it is the 83rd running of the Turkey Night Grand Prix here at Ventura Raceway. ARP, the title sponsor of this year's event, is presented by the West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame. Ultimate Sprint Car Series will be back in action tomorrow. 50 drivers checking in tonight. They will compete for event points throughout the course of the night's racing action, and the top 42 will be able to race again here tomorrow. Logan Seavey on track in the Abacus Racing. McVeigh Trucking, number 57, making his way over onto the back straightaway. Out of Fresno, California, the Tiltac SB Properties. Sorelli Farms, number 32X, TJ Smith. Here on the front straightaway against Smith in 32. 89, Zach Weigel making his way past the flagstaff. The name outside outlet, CB Industries, number 89, the driver to Bell Prix, Ohio. Driver directly in front of him is at Glendale, Arizona, the Torgerson Racing, Mounts Down Motorsports, Spike SR11, number 88A. That is Austin Torgerson. Austin Torgerson in the 88. Brian Drollinger on track at San Pedro, California. The Sweeney Motorsports, Golden State Plumbing, Simpson, Van Dyne Chevrolet powered, Spike number 71D. And problems for Torgerson. The car coming to a rest over in turns 3 and 4. As they look to get him refired. Just past the flag stand, that is Carson Macedo at Lemoore, California. The complete parts and equipment, Tarleton & Sons Empire. Speedway Toyota King chassis number 99 AU. Went down, talked to the crew, asked as he got upside down at Bakersfield. Said, well, she was toast. That right rear down tube all but pinched shut on the number 99. So bringing a new mount out for Macedo here this evening to get some laps on. All getting tuned up for the 83rd running of the ARP Turkey Night Grand Prix. There's problems for Weigel. They'll find a no parking zone over in turn number 2. Looking around, one driver we have not told you about yet. About to make his way by the scene of the crime over there. That's Chase McDermott at Springfield, Illinois. That yellow and black machine on the back straightaway. The Woodland Auto Display. Neutral right Barry Growers. One-way Spike number 8W. If you're looking for live timing and scoring in USAC competition, Race Monitor is the app you need to download. Again, Race Monitor is where you can find live timing and scoring in USAC competition. Reminder again, anything you see on live timing and scoring as well as social media is unofficial. All official news, notes, and points will be posted at the close of racing at usacracing.com. In the case of the Ultimate Sprint Car Series, minus a website, if it is posted during the course of racing action to their Facebook page. Again, that is unofficial. All official results, updates, and more will be posted at the close of the racing program. Again, that will be at the Ultimate Sprint Car Series Facebook page concerning that tour. Corey Day remains quickest out of the drivers that have been on track, a 12:039 second lap. Drivers have come out to turn laps here in practice. Cars begin to make their way off of the speedway. Jacob Denny pushed out earlier. Unfortunately, the car did not want to fire. Now it will roll away under its own power. CJ Leary at Greenfield, Indiana. Driver of the Ghost Shield, Trent Shoring. HP Enterprises, JFM Toyota Spike chassis number 15 has made his way out to the speedway. As with that, we're going to check in down in the infield. I believe Christy Bemis with an update.
So just in doing a quick comparison during these dirt draft hot laps with the USAC Not Starting to Drink National Midget Series 4, the practice night before Turkey Night Grand Prix tomorrow, you're seeing a lot of spin outs happening over in turns number 1 and 2 as opposed to turns number 3 and 4. Just kind of eyeballing what the two sides of the racetrack look like. It kind of seems like these drivers are having to drive two sides of the racetrack, an entirely different style, and that might be why we're seeing more things happening down in turns number 1 and 2 compared to turns number 3 and 4. So just by looking at it, it looks like there's a lot more character and perhaps some more grip over here in 3 and 4, where turns number 1 and 2 seem to be a little bit more on the dusty, kind of dirty side, and so drivers might be kind of confused about what each side of the racetrack is looking like and how to approach each side of that, as we saw Ty Gibbs have something happen down in there in this midget start that is probably a little bit more novel for him, trying to get those things ironed out, and obviously throughout the rest of the night we'll see things shape up. I imagine that part of the racetrack might have been more in the sun as opposed to this side of the racetrack being more in the shade throughout the day. So some of those differences that we're noticing so far in hot laps, but as the night goes on, of course, we'll see things try to iron out and get more uniform across the racing surface.
Indeed, thank you very much. Of course, an absolutely beautiful sunset going on behind the racetrack right now, and closest I've ever been to the water, and still at a dirt track. Of course, that is one of the things too, being this close to the ocean, is the tide can sometimes wreak havoc on a racetrack. The driver in 31, a swap of the seat, Jake Swanson out of Anaheim, California, stepping behind the wheel of the Dave.com Smart Machine Tool DMI Stanton Spike chassis entry. Gardner Sarf had been behind the wheel for this tour, unfortunately having to make his way back home as the family experiencing a loss right before he actually came out to race. Going back to be with his family, especially for the Thanksgiving holiday. Carter, thinking about you, bud. So back in the green flag conditions, Michael Pacino is also on track at Hanford, California, the Heritage Nut Farm TNT. Spike 14, the 73. Cole Wakeham out of Simi Valley, California, the Nutri-Right Berry Growers, MP Environmental, Inland Rigging, number 73. Jim Van Zandt out of Prescott, Arizona, the Biltmore Automotive Center, Stanton Spike, number 3V. V is in Victor. Making his way over in turns 3 and 4. May have had some trouble getting going at first, but Jacob Denny ripping. Last time around, 12.016 seconds, top of the boards. For the driver of the number 25, he will unseat Corey Day as your quickest time so far here in practice. Day at 12.039. Jason Persley at 12.118. Cannon McIntosh 12.190. So that'll wrap up our qualifying and our practice sessions here this evening. We'll have just a quick break. Now is a great time to stop by the USAC merchandise trailer and pick up all of your race day must-have gear. We're down to slim pickings down there. So get down there where your size, color, and design is still available down at the USAC merchandise trailer. Of course, you can shop online 24/7 at USACRacing.com. Logan Seavey with his merchandise trailer back there as well. Of course, official event t-shirts and hooded sweatshirts are also available directly behind the grandstands. Make sure and pick one of those up while your size is still available. As we have opening ceremonies set for right about 5:20 is what I'm being told, so 5:20 for opening ceremonies. Current time, according to the Verizon cell phone, is 4:55.
And from what I understand, Brian, CJ Leary's merchandise will be 50% off on his website for Black Friday. So take advantage of that at LearyRacing.com. That's CJ Leary, 50% off for Black Friday at LearyRacing.com. One of the cars we saw on the track just recently was the 8-ball Chase McDermott. And he's got that Woodland Auto Display. Brian, have you had a chance to visit the Woodland Auto Display in Paso Robles? Absolutely gorgeous. Talk about American racing heritage.
I have not.
Very, very worth the drive. If you're here in town for a little while and got some ideas of what you might want to do, head on over to Paso Robles and check that out. Again, on the card tonight will be 5 heat races for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series. The first of which is sponsored by RGW, Rick Skateworks, out of Palmdale, California. I want to thank Rick and Yumi Hendricks for sponsoring $100 for heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 will be brought to you by SureCan Coatings out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Chris Maroka, thank you so much for your $100 contribution. Heat race number 3 brought to you by King Racing Products out of Visalia, California, and Blake Robertson and Company. Been a series sponsor all season long. Heat race number 4, sponsored by Sideways Designs out of Bakersfield, California, and that's Chris Ennis, who you just saw push off momentarily in his sprint car number 86. And the 5th and final heat race will be brought to you by MP Environmental. That's Rex Calderwood and Company out of Goodyear, Arizona. I want to thank them for what they do for the series. Again, we will have 5 heat races. The top 3 from each, positions 1, 2, and 3, will transfer directly to tonight's feature event. And then of those transfer cars, the winner and the quick qualifier will get a chance at a redraw. That'll determine the first 5 rows of the feature event tonight. And if by chance the quick qualifier wins the heat or does not transfer out of the heat, then we go to second place for that chance at the redraw.
Here on the FloRacing broadcast, we are going to step away for just a little bit. We'll be back to Ventura.
Get ready, Tulsa. January 13th to the 18th, the chase for the Golden Driller is back at the StageNet Center at Expo Square with the 39th Annual Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink. The biggest names, the toughest race, and they're all fighting for the sweetest victory of all to hoist the Golden Driller in victory lane. Monday and Tuesday reserved seats are available by calling 918-838-3777. Can only make it for Saturday night. The General Admission Pit Pass never sells out. For more info, log on to chilibowl.com.
Race fans, Dirt Draft is your #1 fantasy racing app. Play along with hundreds of events each year featuring the biggest stars in series and racing. Draft your team each race night and compete against hundreds of fans across the country. Or start your private league to battle your friends for the ultimate bragging rights. Accumulate points each race night and cash those points in for top prizes from the biggest brands. Sign up today and learn more at dirtdraft.com or download in Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft, your fantasy racing edge.
The cars are firing their engines right now. We are moments away from green flag action. Let's go racing on turn number 4. We are green. It'll be the biggest payday of his career. Corey Day wins. Make some noise for Rico. giving him the single finger salute there.
That's done. We can go have a baby now.
You're a race car driver?
Yeah.
Do you worry a lot on
They get together. McFadden flips out of the ballpark.
I'm not going to lose him. I can't stand it.
He's upside down a huge way down the front straightaway.
Are you looking for a new race car hauler, trailer, or easy-go golf cart? What about something dependable? How about buying from someone you can depend on? Contact Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts. They're a certified Featherlight dealer with all kinds of trailers and other products to fit your needs. Located just 2 hours north of downtown Indianapolis, Elliott's Custom Trailers will deliver your trailer or cart anywhere in the United States. No matter where you're from or what you're looking for, the goal is always the same: ultimate customer satisfaction. So don't wait. Contact Elliott's today and find a trailer or golf cart that fits your needs. Indy Metal Finishing is a family-owned and operated business with 30 years of experience in the industry. Their mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Conveniently located minutes from downtown Indianapolis, Indy Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Indy Metal Finishing is ISO certified and holds an FFL license. If you have any questions, please call Indy Metal Finishing today at 317-858-5353. Find them online at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Indy Metal Finishing, or visit their website at indymetalfinishing.com.
Welcome to our world. A world of dirt, drift, and dodging fate. A world where all of motorsport collides. A world of digging deep, of grit, glory, and bitter defeat. Inhabited by the strong, the fearless, the barely sane. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the world of NOS.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. Down in the pit area, I believe Drake has been able to catch up with our overall quick qualifier in USCS competition here tonight.
The 2021 Turkey Night Grand Prix Sprint Car winner, AJ Bender, is your quick time qualifier here tonight with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. And of course, AJ, we talk about your successes here at the Ventura Raceway. And ever since that one, you've been knocking on the door of another one. So what is it about Ventura Raceway during the Turkey Night that just suits you and your driving style almost every year?
Honestly, I don't know, because this really isn't my most favorite track. I'm not a huge fan of the small ones, but something just happens. I don't know. I like the big races when they come here, all the cars. It kind of makes you step your game up a little bit and drive a little bit harder. So I don't know, kind of lucky. Honestly, I didn't feel too good in the qualifying, and I was pretty shocked when I got out and I was quick time. And I was like, oh, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. But
Obviously, Turkey Night's such a long weekend, even if you're only running one race car like you are. So how big of a relief is it just to get here to Ventura and then have a quick time like that right off of the bat to kind of set the tone for the weekend?
Oh, it's everything. It's so great to do that because you start off with so many points to begin with, and you got to try to just maintain. Obviously, the heat races are going to be kind of hard where you're starting, and then they put the fast cars in front of you, so you really got to work hard to get by them and transfer. So the heat race is going to be the next thing. It's it's like everything, just one step at a time, and work my way through it, and hopefully we're on the stop. Hopefully we win both nights, right? That would be great. I'd love to talk to you some more.
Well, AJ Bender off to a hot start, no doubt about it, here at Ventura. He's your quick time qualifier with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series.
Thank you very much, Drake. So again, opening ceremonies slated for 5:20. Again, 5:20, as I was told earlier, our slated time for opening ceremonies. Crews clearing the wall over in turns 3 and 4. Heat race lineups have been posted out to the My Race Pass app for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. You can follow along there. For USAC competition, Race Monitor is where you will find live timing and scoring. But for lineups, rosters, and results, and live timing for premium members to My Race Pass, the MRP app for sprint car competition. Again, if you're just joining us here on the broadcast, everybody qualifying within their heat race group earlier. AJ Bender, the overall fastest qualifier out of the 5 groups of qualifying. Points accumulated throughout the course of tonight's racing program for event points. The season, it's wrapped up. But the top 42, as of now, will be able to race again here tomorrow. Points accumulated during qualifying heat races. Drivers not transferring into the feature event, and of course, 8 feature points all up for grabs. The Ultimate Sprint Car Series without a website right for now, but you can find them when you go on Facebook. Jacob Denny with plenty of speed during practice earlier. I believe Christy Bemis with a chance to catch up with him here in just a moment.
Yeah, so Jacob Denny going to be in the pit area for the next foreseeable future before we get the USAC National Midgets back out on the racetrack for dirt track practice. And Jacob, I just heard your team kind of giving you some crap about what?
They say my interviews are terrible, so I don't even know what to say to make it better, but Jerome's been giving me crap all week, so hopefully this one's a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, so at least I can lay down a lap on the racetrack, so that's the only good thing.
Hey, that's the least we can do, is it not? I think he does just fine. So anyway, I tried to explain out there what was so different about the two ends of the racetrack between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I think I did a very bad job. If you wouldn't mind elaborating on what you think are some of the biggest differences, and as a driver, how you're having to approach both sides of the racetrack differently.
1 and 2 is kind of slick, and then there's 3 and 4 is slick, but there's also pretty big holes down there. So you just kind of got to take your time down 1 and 2, and then just send it down to 3 and 4 and hope for the best. So my car got through all the holes really good, so that helped out, and I'm glad I could lay down that lap at the end there.
We talked a lot at Bakersfield the other night about how Tom Malloy and Jerome Rodella kind of closing up shop after the end of this season on a full-time basis. Of course, might hit some things here and there. So one more chance to get things done for this team. How much does that add the value to what is already a really special race this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. They want to win Turkey Night more than anything else. So, if I could do that, I'd be sick for sure. And I got to race against Tanner, though, and he's in the same car, and he's a pretty bad dude. So, yeah, hopefully we can get it done. And it's been a great time with Jerome and Tom. I've learned a lot over the last 2 years. And, yeah, hopefully we can end it off on a good note.
So Jacob Denny sits atop the Dirt Draft Hot Laps board right now as we ended up that first session, and we will head into a second session after a little bit more sprint car action.
From opening ceremonies, and Christy and Drake have been wandering around, tracking down drivers, and I believe Christy has caught up with Corey Day.
Yeah, so Corey Day sits second right now on those Dirt Draft Hot Laps boards and heading into another couple of sessions here. But Corey obviously has sort of had a whirlwind into the season when it comes to USAC Nostalgia Drink National Midget Competition. Last year you were the rookie of the race at the Turkey Night Grand Prix, finishing second in 2023. So one more spot. What's that going to take this year?
I don't know. You know, this place is different every time we come here, so you were really, really good in that first hot lap set, and curious to see how the track develops with, you know, the sprint cars having a full night of racing. So, yeah, I couldn't really tell you what we need. I guess I'll, you know, try and figure that out tomorrow night come feature time.
Yeah, so you say it's different every time you come here. Are you expecting a different track, not tonight, but for tomorrow as well, given the difference in the 2 days?
Yeah, for sure. You know, the ocean plays a huge part in this place. It can be dead slick all night and the tide will roll in, and come feature time it'll change or it won't. You know, you never know. So, yeah, really, really curious to see what it does. And, you know, Willie's working hard back there to give me a good race car, and he's doing a good job so far. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Do you expect that you guys will try to make some changes, maybe try some things out to see what all you get tonight?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you really don't get a test night at many other races. So, you know, we try and take advantage of this as much as possible. So, yeah, we're going to go out there probably with something a little bit different for this next one, see what the sprint cars do to the track. That'll kind of determine it. But, yeah, we'll try something here.
98 laps tomorrow night for the Turkey Night Grand Prix, which is unlike any other race that we do all year long. What does that take going into tomorrow night that you have to prepare for?
Yeah, just kind of, you know, a different mindset going into it. You know, the 30-lap races are more sprints, where then the 98-lap race, you can kind of, you know, fill your car out for 30 laps. And then, you know, it depends on the yellows, of course. But, you know, yeah, then towards the end of the race, if you're good, you can start charging. And if you're not, then, you know, you're not good. So, yeah, just kind of, it's good, too, because you got cockpit adjustments with the shocks and these things. So you have a long time to kind of dial yourself in or dial yourself out. So, yeah, it's cool. We don't get long races that much, so it's exciting.
It's been a remarkable 2024 season for Corey Day across disciplines of racing. He's going to give it one more go tomorrow night at the Turkey Night Grand Prix. So far, sitting second in Dirt Draft Hot Laps, so showing good speed already, Brian.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Ventura County Fairgrounds. Home of the 2025 Ventura County Fair and the best alert track in America, Ventura Raceway. Tonight, it's the opening night of the 83rd running of the famous Turkey Night Grand Prix. Tonight we'll be featuring USAC sprint cars and, of course, the USAC Midgets practicing. It's going to be a great night. I think we ended up with 58 sprint cars, so you're going to see some great heat races to eliminate now. So, if we could have everybody please rise, please remove your hats while they're playing the national anthem. Well, like every Saturday, this is Friday though, not for Friday night. We're not Friday nights anymore, just Saturday, but we want to thank you all for coming out. You're going to enjoy some great racing. Before we get started, and I turn it over to Flo, I want you to know I want to thank everybody that helped us get here. It took a lot of people. We got a couple new vehicles out in the infield. We have some new equipment. There's a whole bunch of people that participated to get us here tonight, and of course, we're very excited about tomorrow night. So we're going to turn it over to Brian Herbert. Herbert, you up there? Hobart, that's right. Brian, it's back to you, buddy, the voice of Flo.
Thank you very much. Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. Heat race number 1 of 5 will be making its way out to the racing surface. 10 laps the distance. Again, top 3 out of each of the heat races going to advance on directly into your feature event. Heat race winner plus the fastest qualifying advancing driver will lock in to the redraw. If your fast qualifier is also your heat race winner, then first and second in that heat race will head on into the redraw. Push trucks will begin making their way down into the infield. Again, to follow along in sprint car competition, the My Race Pass app is where you can follow along with rosters, lineups, results, and for premium members, live timing and scoring. If you haven't stopped by the USAC merchandise trailer, now is a great time to do so. Of course, all the race day must-have gear that is available. Get down there while your size, color, and design is still in stock as the pickings are getting slim, and also driver rosters for the 83rd running of the ARP Turkey Night Grand Prix presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame Museum. Drivers' numbers, names, hometowns, and sponsors for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Again, those are available for only $1 while supplies last down at the USAC merchandise trailer.
Heat race number 1 for the USCS Sprint Car Series is brought to you by RGW Rick Skateworks out of Palmdale, California. I want to thank Rick and Yumi Hendricks for sponsoring the $100 cash award to he the winner of heat race number 1.
So cars will stage out to the Speedway. Lineup set to roll to the green like this. Driver on the poles out of Phoenix, Arizona. Driver the Avanti windows and doors, Apache Transport, CK Electric, Mopar Power, Twister number 2. It's going to be J.J. Yaley outside of row number 1 and 17. It'll be Blake Bauer. He's out of Brentwood, California. Driver the Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, one-way power, DRC chassis number 17B. Third starting spot, it'll be Michael Facento. He's out of Hanford, California. Driver the DKR, Shark Power, Triple X chassis, C&K Towing, K1 Race Gear, Factory Kane number 15K. And the driver rolling off from 4th will be the 29T, Ryan Timmons out of Pleasant Hill, California. Driving the Red Line Oil, Evergood Fine Foods, Timmons Auto, Truck and RV Repair number 29T. He was your quick qualifier for the drivers in group number 1. He will line up on the outside of row number 2. Fifth starter in this one in 44, Brent Sexton out of Lakeside, California. The East County Electric Works, Shaver Power, Triple X Chassis, BR Motorsports, Maxima Oil. BK Wings number 44. Next to him, the 57 AZ. Stevie Sussex out of Tempe, Arizona. Driver the Steve Stone owned Buffalo Wild Wings, Realtor 57. Marty Wilcox Power, J&J Chassis number 57. The 53, Michael Pombo out of Easton, California. The CS9, Brand Downing powered 410, number 53. He will go from the 7th starting spot and lining up in 8th. It'll be Connor Spear, driver of the number 57S. He comes to us out of Fillmore, California. Driver the Channel Island flooring covers, Penelope Powered, ART chassis, Maxwell Industries, FK Rod Ends, number 57S. Final row from the inside. Ryan Drollinger out of San Pedro, California, the 71D. And your final starter comes to you out of Oakley, California. Drives the Black Bear Diner of Oakley, SNS powered, Maxim chassis, Linex, a 360 power plant underneath the hood of the 87P. That is Jacob Tuttle. Jacob Tuttle in the 87P, as that'll round out your line of 4. Heat race number 1 of 5 tonight with your Ultimate Sprint Car Series, presented by Inland Rigging. Each of these heat races with a sponsor. Doug, again, who is the sponsor in heat race number 1?
That would be RGW, Rick's Gateworks, out of Palmdale, California. Yeah, there'd be a $100 cash award to the heat race winner, number 1, brought to you by RGW.
So the drivers roll in where they see fit, get a little bit of heat beneath the bonnets. Again, Yaley, Bauer, run number 1, Facento, Timmons, run number 2, Sexton and Sussex in run number 3, Pombo and Spear in run number 4, Trollinger and Tuttle in row number 5. Top 3 in the feature heat races will advance on directly into the feature event. The heat race winner plus the fastest qualifying driver transferring at the heat race will go into the redraw. Four-car inversion in each of the heat races, so Timmons was your quick qualifier. Cinto was second quick, then Bowers and Yaley was fourth quick. That puts him on the pole. Ten times around, the furrowed green flag in hand. Next time at a turn number 4. It'll fly. Looking for a clean start this time at the exit of turn number 4. 10 laps to get it done. Top 3 if you want to avoid running one of the 3 semi-feature events off of turn number 4. You get after it. Yaley immediately going to jump out to the advantage. The Avante windows and doors. Jack Yaley owned. Number 2 going to jump out to the front of the field here as they come around on lap number 1. Yaley leads the train here. Sitting in second right now is going to be the 15K of Michael Placento. Ryan Timmons doing what he needs to do. Again, he's your quick qualifier. Started 4th. He's up into 3rd. Look out. We got problems over in turns 1 and 2. Everybody getting it back under control. A couple of them playing Dukes of Hazzard off that inside berm. We stay green. Look out. Right rear, meet left front. Back of the field. A little bit of bumping and banging going on, but everybody sorts it out here as we look back up front. Yaley in command of this one. Facento running in 2nd. Timmons running in 3rd. Bauer running in 4th. Bombo right now running out your top 5. Keep an eye on the transfer spot here as caution lights come on. We got one with a flat right rear. That is the 44, Brent Sexton. Talking about right rears meeting left fronts, it was him and the 71, Drollinger in the back of the pack. Playing bumper tag with Hoosiers. Unfortunately, the right rear on that number 44 not surviving the game. So he'll exit stage right. Yaley leading in 2. Facento running in 2nd. Timmons, your quick qualifier. He's up into 3rd, so trying to lock himself into the redraw. Bowers in the 17. Started outside of your front row. He's back to 4th. Pombo in the 53 going to line up in 5th. Sussex going to line up in 6th. Spear in 7th. Tuttle then Drollinger. We'll round out your lineup again. 10 laps the distance. We've got 3 in the books. Single file past the marker that's been placed over in turn number 4. Yaley picks it up. Transferring turn 3 to turn 4, and we get back after it. He'll take back off the race lead. Right before we went under yellow, the final transfer spot was up for grabs. Blake Bauer in the 17 was trying to take away from Ryan Timmons. Timmons so far able to fend off the charge here. They'll work through turns 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway. Yaley, a lot of smoke starting to come off of the side of his Avante windows and doors number 2 machine, and coming off of the engine, not out of the engine for the time being. Mike Placento continues to run in 2nd. Ryan Timmons still running in 3rd. Blake Bowers running in 4th. Stevie Sussex right now your top 5. Look out, we got one parked over in turns 1 and 2, and I believe that is the 57. 57 AZ, Stevie Sussex, I believe the driver. Yes, Buffalo Wild Wings on the side of that machine. Bringing her to a stop, had been running in the 5th position. The other 57 of Spear remains on track. So Yaley continues to lead as we're 5 in with 5 to go. Facento still running in 2nd, Timmons running in 3rd. As I mentioned earlier, a combination of 410 and 360 power plants under the hoods here. The 410s must run a restrictor, an 1 7/8 restrictor in the stack. So Sussex getting pointed back in the right direction. He will refire on the back straightaway. He'll drop to the tail end of the field as the cause of the caution. Oh, Sean in the dirt. Checking in on the FloRacing broadcast. And Sean, I don't have an answer for you, bud. Single file past the DOS Energy start can. It's been placed over turn number 4. Yaley still in command. The smoke continuing to pour off of the headers of the Avante windows and doors number 2 as they bolt onto the back straightaway. Facento still trying to track him down to that 2nd spot. An eye on 3rd. As Timmons continues to hold on to his Bauer. Able to get up to his back bumper. Getting there's one thing, getting by is another as they work into turns 3 and 4. Yaley coming around to click off lap number 7. The tag going on a little bit further back there. Looked like Pombo and Spear maybe making just a little bit of contact there through turns 3 and 4. Everybody continues on, no harm, no foul. Starting to peak wide, try to dive low for the 3rd spot still. Bauer is charged, denied here as he goes in, overcooks it into 1. Going to leave the inside open. Pombo trying to take advantage of it onto the back straightaway. Not able to get there fast enough as they come around to the wave of the white flag and 1 to go. J.J. Yaley in command in this one. Works her onto the back straightaway for the final time. He'll work through turns 3 and 4. He'll come around this time. And the checker flag dropping for the USAC Triple Crown champion. Yaley grabbing the win. Facento going to cross in 2nd. 3rd will go to Ryan Timmons. Blake Bauer's going to cross in 4th. Michael Pombo in 5th. Spear, Sussex, Tuttle, and Trollinger unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you out of Phoenix, Arizona, piloting the Avante Windows and Doors, Apache Transport, CK Electric, High Performance Lubricants, Mopar Twister number 2. Race fans, give him a hand, J.J. Yaley. Yaley with the win, and bring it to a stop down in the infield. Let him get the helmet off, and Drake York going to catch up with our heat race winner. Drake?
Car. Does it make you want to get back in it a little bit more full time? Because it seems like every time you get behind the wheel of an on-wing sprint car, you are lights out.
Well, first off, I want to say hi to my wife, Kristen, back home. Thank Jerry Petty for everything. I also want to say hi to Chase Johnson. Hopefully he's watching here tonight. But, you know, winning heat races and winning features are 2 different things. So far, all I can do is win heat races so far. You know, the racetrack it's got a ton of moisture, just doesn't seem like it has a lot of grip. So I got a lot of adjusting to do to make this thing faster for the feature. But right now, it seems like we're doing more for the mosquitoes than anything.
J.J. Yaley gets the job done in heat race number 1. Once again, the Triple Crown champion back behind the wheel of an on-wing sprint car and midget this weekend here at the Turkey Night Grand Prix.
He's out here keeping everybody safe. He said he's taking care of the mosquito problem. Thank you very much, J.J. Again, picking up the win in heat race number 1. Heat race number 2, making its way out over to Doug.
Yeah, and up for grabs, another $100 cash bonus brought to you this time by Sure Can Coatings. I want to thank Chris Maroka and company out of Honolulu, Hawaii for putting up a $100 bonus for the winner of heat race number 2. On the pole in the 2J car out of Indio, California, that's James Turnbull Jr. driving for his dad in the Brissis Air Conditioning and Heat, James Yost Tile. It's a DRC with a Van Dyne 410. In the 2J, it's James Turnbull. To his outside, the 4C is charging Charles Davis Jr. out of Buckeye, Arizona, driving for Rex Calderwood in the MP Environmental Black Magic Bead Breaker. Chuck D's Wieners. It's a Triple X with a Donut 360. Row 2 on the inside, the 6 is his teammate. That is Logan Calderwood out of Goodyear, Arizona, driving for Rex Calderwood as well in MP Environmental Services number 6. It's a Triple X with a one-way 410. Outside, starting 4th, is your quick qualifier in heat race number 2. That's Carson Macedo out of Lemoore, California. Carson driving from Tommy Tarleton in the Tarleton Sons factory cane complete parts and equipment, Maxim with a Kistler 410. Row 3 on the inside, starting 5th, will be the 22 of Brian Whitley from right here in Ventura, California. He's the owner-driver. It's the Portastore machine, trench shoring, HP Enterprise. It's a DRC with an Al Parker 360. Outside him will be the 51 of Brody Fusen. Good to have Brody back on track with the USCS Sprint cars. He's out of Bakersfield, California, driving for Bob and Tony Van Meter. Race PA Motorsports, WE, SoCal Automotive, Impact Foam Solutions. It's a Spike with a Van Meter 360. In the inside of row number 4, the 8M is Jake Andriotti, driving for Jason May. In the 8M, he's out of Castro Valley, California. In the May Motorsports, RDM Mechanics, TJM Distribution, Elite Signs, Hot Head Heaters. It's a DRC with a Winfield 360. To his outside, the black 4G, that is Cody Gray out of Auburn, California. Driving for Jeff Gray, and he wants to thank Mom and Dad and the Turnbull family. It's an ART with a Manila 360. The last row, number 5 on the inside, the 84 is Aaron Altaffer out of Fresno, California. He's the owner-driver. It's a Triple X chassis with a Shaver 410. And slated to be on the outside in the 10th spot was the 11 of Stevie Rogers out of Apple Valley, California. Unfortunately, the youngster did not make it. I do believe she's en route to the Speedway. They were thrashing to get her car done this evening. Did not make it in time for the heat race, but she is hoping to make it for the semi-feature. That's your starting lineup. James Turnbull Jr. going to lead him to the green. On the pole outside of him will be Logan Calderwood in that black number 6. And it looks like Charles Davis Jr. elected to start from the rear in the 4C. That's why you see the black and yellow 4C of Charles Davis Jr. tagging the rear and reshuffling the front of the field here. That's going to move your quick qualifier Carson Macedo up to the 3rd spot, and outside him, the Portastore number 22 of Brian Whitley, the local boy here. Lights are out, lineup is good. We are going green this time by the flag stand for heat race number 2, brought to you by SureCan Coatings. Green flag's out, we are racing. Calderwood gonna take the point into 1 and 2. On the high side, Whitley making a challenge. He's going to slide up in front of the nose of the 21 and take the 3rd spot away. But here comes Macedo challenging back on the bottom. Whitley, all kinds of sideways off before. Give Macedo the position. He's got his sights set on the 2J of Turnbull now as they rocket into 3 and 4. Your leader is still Logan Calderwood, all alone in the 6. About 4 car lengths ahead of Turnbull. Then your quick qualifier, Macedo, who's in a transfer spot right now. Brody Fusen sits in 4th. Jake Andriotti trying to find his way up to the front in the 8M. Oh, and Turnbull slows up the 21 of Macedo. Macedo hits the binders. We got the accordion effect in 1 and 2. They all make it through. Whitley way high. But your leader will take advantage. Logan Calderwood now opening up almost an entire straightaway length lead over the 51 of Brody Fusen. Fusen holding off Macedo, who got around Turnbull. Now Andriotti as well slips into 4th. 1 spot out of a transfer in heat race number 2. Behind them, a fierce battle as Turnbull trying to hold off Charge and Charles Davis Jr., who made it all the way from the rear of the field, challenging for that 5th spot down the back straightaway. Calderwood clicking off another lap. Just 3 laps to go in heat race number 2. Fusen now holding steady in 2nd, but the Tarleton number 21 of Carson Macedo wants 1 more spot to solidify his way into tonight's feature. Currently on the bubble, Jake Andriotti wants it. White flag and a wave next time by. It's still Logan Calderwood, Brody Fusen, Carson Macedo. You can throw a blanket over second through fourth now as they enter turn number 3. White flag and a wave. One more time around for Logan Calderwood. Fusen, low. Macedo trying to diamond from high to low off at turn number 2 down the back straight. It looks like he's going to hold the position. Your winner will be the 6th of Logan Calderwood. Brody Fusen holds on to second. Carson Macedo will transfer with his 3rd spot finish. Jake Andriotti was 4th. Charging Charles Davis Jr. Turnbull Whitley. And we'll bring your winner, Logan Calderwood, around to speak with Drake York as he took home $100 from Sure Can Coatings.
Thank you so much, Brian. Sure Can Coatings heat race number 2 winner Logan Calderwood didn't make a lot of starts this season with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series, but when he did, he had a best finish of 6th out of Santa Maria during the Ron Auto Memorial. And Logan, obviously right now track is pretty narrow around the bottom side of the speedway, but you were able to yard the rest of the field. When you're put in that tight of a box like that, how are you able to make speed like that, especially as well as you did there?
Just keep my focus and keep my mistakes minimal and just keep my eye on I kept on thinking that Brody was right behind me the entire time, so I really wasn't wanting to mess up or make any mistakes like that.
Smooth and steady wins the race for Logan Calderwood. He's your winner in Sure Can Coatings heat race number 2.
Thank you very much, Drake. King Racing Products bringing you heat race number 3, and Jake Swanson going to be on the pole this 10-lap affair. He's out of Anaheim, California, driving the inland rigging, one-way DRC, Dunkel Farms, King Racing Products number 17X. Outside of him, it'll be Austin Williams out of Yorba Linda, California, the inland rigging, Gressman Power, DRC, BR Motorsports, JFM number 17W. Cole Wakeham out of Simi Valley, California, driving the one-way Triple X Chassis Edgewater Construction Race Concepts number 9. He'll go from 3rd and from 4th. He was your quick qualifier for the drivers in heat race number 3 out of Yorba Linda, California, driving the Riley Racing Don Ott Maxim Channel Island flooring covering Simpson Valco wheels number 37. That is Matt Mitchell. Blaine Corey, the driver to Central Point, Oregon, going to make up the inside of row number 3. In the Ridgecrest Racing Chevrolet Triple X Chassis, Ridgecrest Homes, American Float Tech number 5K, and next to him, driver out of Bakersfield, California, that'll be Chris Ennis, driving the Sizeways Design Al Parker Spike Chassis, Bell Spike Optics, System 1, number 86. Brody Wake, the Micro Ace, turned sprint car driver to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, driving the Ryan's Drywall Service and Finishes, Ostrich Power Triple X, Torco Fuels, Punch a Chicken number 78. He will go from the 7th starting spot and lining up in the 8th spot, the 13. At Ogolita, California, driving the Brett Butler Racing Stealth, number 13M. That will be McGarren Butler. Look at your final row from the inside line, the 5E, Alexa Herrera. At Okoyama, California, driving the Bills Jerky, All-American Drilling, JPS Triple X Chassis number 5E. And your final starter had problems earlier tonight in the X, the driver to Brentwood, California, the Q&A Transport, Vector Mosquito Control, Avenger Chassis Machine, that is Bob Newberry, as that'll be your scheduled lineup here for heat race number 3. Looks like Newberry with problems rectified. The car firing on its own accord here as it will make its way over into turns 1 and 2. Again, earlier during our qualifying and our hot laps, problem striking on the X. Unfortunately, the Avenger chassis was not able to come out and complete a qualifying time. So he'll line up at the tail end of the running order. Jake Swanson, though, in the 17. Going to bring him down to the drop of the green flag. 4 wins on the season. April 27th up at Lawrenceburg, August 3rd and 17th up at Paragon, and then most recently October 5th out of Lincoln Park. For Jake Swanson, next to him, Austin Williams in the 17W, the big game hunter, picking up a win here on September. In the inland rigging, Dunkel Farms, Gressman, DRC number 17W, a 410 under the hood of the number 17W. Likewise for the 17X. Cole Wakeham, the Semi-Valley, California driver, and the Motion Tire one-way Triple X chassis number 9. Again, going to go for the third starting spot. Matt Mitchell next to him in fourth. Blaine Corey, the Central Point, Oregon driver, going to line up in fifth. Chris Ennis going to line up in sixth. Brody Wake. Spent several seasons following his racing exploits with the Dirt 2 Media National Open Wheel 600 Series presented by High Plains Building Division. Coming up out of the micro ranks and into the sprint cars. Of course, a lot of the drivers you see racing throughout the course of the weekend, we'll see them, well, just down the road in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Smiley's Racing Products Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink. December 30th through January 4th. We move in on the 30th, we practice on the 31st, and we race that night all the way through the 4th, and then chase for the Golden Driller at the Mecca of Micros. And, of course, the Chili Bowl Nationals, powered by NOS Energy Drink, January 13th through the 18th. But now to the race at hand, on track and on the gas. They work up into number 4. Heat race number 3 comes to life. 17's going to take him off into turns 1 and 2. We'll have one going way out to the outside over in turns 3 and 4. I believe that was the 37 of Matt Mitchell. Thought he was going to take her up to the concrete. Good save, though, but it's going to cost him a couple of positions here on the start as Jake Swanson takes off in the race lead. Austin Williams right now running in second. Wakeham, benefactor of the misstep by Matt Mitchell, going to take over the final transfer spot. Mitchell going to try to come up and peek to the inside. Wasn't able to get in there quick enough. So the Ryan race number 37 right now sitting in the 4th position. Blaine Corey running in 5th. Ennis overtaken by Brody Wake at the line. Wake in 6th. Ennis in 7th. Herrera, Butler, and Newberry right now rounding out your running order. Top 2 drivers starting to break away from the rest of the field. Swanson with Williams giving chase. Teammates working into turns 3 and 4, both patiently around the bottom side of the speedway. Looking back a little bit in the pack. Race for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position right now. You've got Ennis, you've got Wake, and you've got Corey all right there in that mix. Challenge for 3rd, maybe. He's going to look to the outside this time into turns 1 and 2. Tried it on the opening lap, tries it again. The rear end's going to step out on him a little bit. Good save once again by Matt Mitchell, but twice, turns 1 and 2 has nearly bit him. Turns 3 and 4 saw a couple of drivers earlier in the evening able to open up their entry. Diamond across a few of them able to go to the high side. Macedo was one of them. But 1 and 2, the line just not there yet as they come around to click off lap number 7. Swanson continues to remain in command of this one. Now about a half a straightaway between himself and Austin Williams. Cole Wakeham in the 9, still holding on to the final transfer into the feature event. Again, your heat race winner, plus the fastest qualifying transferring driver going on into the redraw. And right now, Matt Mitchell would be that driver if he can pick up one more here. But right now, sitting one spot shy and moving on into the show. So white flag is out. And less than a half a lap to go for your leader, making his way off into turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in heat race number 3. Checkered flag going to drop on Jake Swanson at 17. Swanson picking up the heat race win. Austin Williams in 2nd. Cole Wakeham in 3rd. Matt Mitchell going to cross in 4th. And Brody Wake unofficially your top 5. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you out of Anaheim, California. Driver of the Inland Rigging, Dunkel Farms, King Racing Products, BR Motorsports, JFM, one-way DRC number 17X race fans. Give him a hand, Jake Swanson. Swanson picking up the win. Austin Williams in 2nd. Cole Wakeham in 3rd. Matt Mitchell and Brody Wake officially your top 5 at a heat race number 3. 2 more to go. And Swanson going to make his way down to the infield, where Drake York's going to catch up with our heat race winner.
Of course, Jake making his first appearance of any kind this season with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series. And Jake, obviously at Tom Dunkel Racing 1-2 for your teammate, you and your teammate Austin Williams there. And obviously you guys have strength in numbers. Do you guys kind of bounce notes off each other and kind of try to find the best setup for all the race cars here?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this sport's a team sport, so I like racing with guys that you know, want to help everybody. You know, we're all trying to pull the rope in the same direction. So it's a really good situation, you know, with Tom Dunkel and Tom and Christy, they field some really good cars. So we've got Jimmy May helping us out, and it's been really fun racing with these guys. So I think we got a good shot. We're in the redraw now. Racetrack's gonna start to open up here. It's just really marbly up there, so got to get a good start and make sure you get the spot, because it's tougher on the bottom right now. It's really hard to pass.
Jake Swanson, your winner in Kings Racing Products Heat Race number 3 here with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series.
And that'll bring out Heat Race number 4 for the USC Sprint Cars, brought to you by Sideways Designs out of Bakersfield, California. I want to thank Chris Ennis for sponsoring $100 cash for Heat Race number 4 winner. On the pole, coming to you out of Greenfield, Indiana, it's C.J. Leary in the 73X, driving for Josh Ford Motorsports, Surecan Coatings. It's a triple X with a one-way 410 to the outside. The 18 out of Galena, California is David Gasper. Gasper in the Kittle Gasper Motorsports. Art Klee, Valley Precision Products, Martin Roofing, DRC with a Shaver 410. Row 3 on the inside, the 0K from Bloomington, Indiana is Hunter Maddox, driving for Kenny Perkins in the Sprint Car Driving Experience. It's a Maxim with a Perkins 360. To his outside, the quick qualifier in Heat Race number 4, the 21B, is San Diego, California's A.J. Bender. AJ driving for Richard Bender in the Bender Pool and Spa Makes Construction Services DRC with a Shaver 410. Row 3 on the inside, the 57 is Tyler Edwards out of Salina, Oklahoma. Driving for Moo Hicks in the No Limit Powder Coating. FK Roddins, Jake Swanson, Shock Technology, Triple X with a Rainy 410. Outside him, the 21T is Cole Macedo in another Tommy Tarleton entry. Tarleton and Sons Racing. It's a Maxim with a Kistler 410. Excuse me, that's a Maxim with a Ryder 360. Row number 4 on the inside, the 73B is Braden Shiramonte out of El Cajon, driving the OCC Motorsports. That's a Maxim with a Kistler 410. To his outside, the 39D is the CHP officer. That's Jeff Dyer. Jeff driving the Cal Sun Motorsports entry out of Yucca Valley, California. And that's a Spike with a JMS 410. And row 5 on the inside, the back row, the 10 is Jeremy Stout. Jeremy comes to us from Ojai, California, driving for himself in the Greg Rentz European Wax Center Maxim Shark 360. To his outside, the 22S was slated to be Grant Sexton. I don't see the 22 of Grant Sexton on the track out of Lakeside, California in the Brent Sexton East County Electric Triple X with a Shaver 410. Unfortunately, don't see Grant Sexton making a call. Lights are out. Field is coming around for the green flag. And we got one real sideways. That's the 0K of Hunter Maddox getting crossed up from the field. Meanwhile, up front, David Gasper making a challenge on the outside, trying to get around C.J. Leary. Leary in that 73 JFM car, holding strong up front for now. But David Gasper knows his way around. Then your quick qualifier, A.J. Bender, settles into third. That's the final transfer spot. So as of right now, it would be Leary and Bender making their way, punching their ticket into tonight's feature. Again, Bender on the bubble, the 57 of Kyle Edwards. On the outside looking in, holding off Braden Shiramonte. Shiramonte now in that red and black number 73B, taking a look to the inside down the back straightaway on Edwards in the 30, in the 57. C.J. Leary making it look easy up front as he stretches his legs and puts a three-quarter lap advantage, three-quarter straightaway advantage over David Gasper. Gasper really high again off of turn number 4. That allowed A.J. Bender an opportunity to stick his nose in. They made brief contact. They're still clean and green as they fly down the back straightaway. Gasper now in second, your quick qualifier, and we go yellow. And it looks like Mr. Stout, Jeremy Stout in the 10 car, looped it, making a 360, kept it running, but that forced the caution. He will have to tag the rear of the field on the restart. So your leader is still C.J. Leary in that JFM Quick Change Energy Drink car. To the second, right behind him is David Gasper in the Kittle 18. Your quick qualifier, A.J. Bender in the 21B, sits in that final transfer spot as we have 5 laps down, 5 to go in heat race number 4. Good start for C.J. Leary. David Gasper spinning the tires a little bit off turn number 4. That allowed Bender to close up again. Tyler Edwards still on the outside looking in, getting a challenge on the high side now from the 73B of Shiramonte. They're going to be side by side. No. Door gets slammed on Shiramonte. He tries to cross over. Meanwhile, good battle for second, heating up again with Bender, trying to hold off the gasser, David Gasper out of Goleta in the Kittle Motorsports. 2 wide off at turn number 4 for fourth. Shiramonte with a slider, doesn't stick, and a 2 for 1 goes to Cole Macedo in the 21. Macedo now sits in fourth, 1 spot out of a transfer as we have just a couple of laps to go in this one. C.J. Leary way out front in the 73. A.J. Bender holding strong in second. Gasper solidly in third as they take the white flag. One more time around Ventura Raceway in the Sideways Designs Heat Race number 4 for the USCS sprint cars. No threat for the top 3. Those are your transfer cars. The win will go to C.J. Leary. Second will go to A.J. Bender. Third goes to the Kittle entry of David Gasper. Behind them, Cole Macedo, Braden Shiramonte, Tyler Edwards, Jeff Dyer, Jeremy Stout, and Hunter Maddox. Well, make some noise for your winner, C.J. Leary. Taking home a $100 bill from Sideways Designs, and we'll send it down to Drake York.
Thank you so much. C.J. Leary gets the job done here in the JFM. Jimmy May prepare number 73. Another driver making his first appearance on the season with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series, of course, coming off another great year with the Amsoil USAC National Sprint Car Championship, where he is 4th in points. And CJ, no doubt about it, you've driven for a lot of people in your career and already off to a great start here tonight with JFM. What's the key to getting comfortable in a new car so fast, like you have been for so long with so many different car owners?
Ah, man, that's the toughest part is getting comfortable, but Jimmy's made it super easy here for me, and I think the 73 gets around Ventura pretty good, and I'd agree. A couple things to tweak on the track. Hopefully it shapes up to be a little bit more racy than what we've seen already tonight, so we'll go make some adjustments, and we'll see you guys at the feature.
C.J. Leary pulling double duty this weekend here at the Ventura Raceway, part of the Turkey Night Grand Prix.
Thank you very much, Drake. MP Environmental Heat Race number 5, making his way out to the Speedway. Driver to Templeton, California, driver the FG3, Eagle Energy, Lexington. Rider KPC chassis number 3, Caleb Montgomery, going to be the pole here of Heat Race number 5. Next to him, Daniel Whitley out of Ferndale, California, driver the Finkenbinder Motorsports, DRC number 3F. Next row from the inside, the 63 is going to be John DeWeese. He's out of Lemoore, California, driver the King Racing Products. Elvis Power Triple X chassis number 63D, and outside of him, driver coming to us from right down the road in Camarillo, California, driver the Inland Rigging, D's Transport, Physical Medicine Consultants, Morris Farms, number 17, that is Ricky Lewis. Rick Hendricks out of Palmdale, California, driver the Shark Powered Maxim, RGW Incorporated, number 15. He will go from the 5th starting spot, and Blake Hendricks in the 14, he's out of Simi Valley, California, driver the McKenna Coffee, Chevrolet Snap-on Tools, Roadrunner Hose and Fittings, number 14. He will line up in 6th. Lining up in 7th is going to be Mark Henry. Henry behind the wheel of the Kittle Motorsports. Henry Power Triple X chassis, number 39R. And Sean Deskins out of Waddell, Arizona, the Mesilla Valley Transportation, Racing Optics, Bell, MP Environmental, Donut DRC chassis, number 20. He will roll from 8th. From 9th to 29C, the young lady out of Bakersfield, California, Cammie Bell, the 2 Girls Garage, Bell KPC chassis, AR Creations, number 29C, and your final starter, Brent Yarnell out of Phoenix, Arizona, driving the Buzzer Pest Control, M&D Enterprises, Ellis chassis, number 29. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for MP Environmental Heat Race number 5.
While we get the heat race number 5 cars lined up, I just want to give a quick shout out, a happy birthday to Braden the Bandit Miller Bushy. Turned 17 years old today.
Into the grandstands. Check your pockets. If you drove a Ford to the racetrack, you might be missing your keys. We're trying to figure out what kind of keychain is on here. It looks like corn. We're not going to swear to it. But if you are missing a set of Ford keys, right down here on the second level of the press box where Jim is down there, that's where they are going to be. A custom bedazzled keychain, if you will. So Caleb Montgomery in the 3. Picking up a couple wins this season. September 1st here in Ventura. Went to Victory Lane again October 5th at Kern County. Daniel Whitley, couple of trips behind the wheel of a midget this season with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. The Finkenbinder number 3. His mount here tonight, he goes to the outside of row number 1, the 63D. John DeWeese inside of row number 2. And Ricky Lewis, one of the winningest drivers in the country this season, 23 times a Victory Lane. He has wins at 16 tracks in 7 states and 9 different sanctioning bodies. I think the only one he hasn't won with so far this season is the United States Auto Club. Rick Hendricks, Blake Hendricks. Row number 3, Mark Henry, Sean Deskins, Cammy Bell, Brent Yarnell. Rounds out your lineup again 10 times around. 3 drivers moving straight on into the feature event. We get after it. Battle of the 3s on the front straightaway. The advantage will be to your pole setter. Caleb Montgomery going to take off at the top spot here. Daniel Whitley getting shuffled back here in the 3F outside of a transfer spot. He is all the way back to the 5th spot in your opening lap. John DeWeese in the 63 going to take over 2nd. Ricky Lewis quickly up into that 3rd spot. Rick Hendricks at 4th. Then it's going to be Whitley, Henry, Hendricks, Deskins, Bell, and Yarnell on your opening lap. Sean Deskins trying to squeeze down to the bottom of that Messia Valley Transportation number 20. Successful. He'll pick up one more spot up into 7th. Deskins up one from where he started now. Going to get another one. Swinging wide was the 39R, Mark Henry. Sean Deskins there to capitalize. He's up into the 6th position. Up front, battle for 2nd. Ricky Lewis going to step high over in turns 3 and 4. Lose some ground, though, to the number 63 of DeWeese. DeWeese, a good bite off the exit turn number 4, able to put good distance between himself and Lewis. Now Ricky down to the bottom side of the speedway. Closes right back up as Caleb Montgomery continues to lead in 3. John DeWeese, Ricky Lewis, Rick Hendrick. Right there, stalking as they work onto the back straightaway. Lewis all but pushing DeWeese into turns 3 and 4. Able to get up to him, just not able to get by him as they work around to the front straightaway. 4 laps remain. As Caleb Montgomery continues to lead, John DeWeese still running in 2nd. Ricky Lewis once again going to try the high side through turns 3 and 4. The car got tight on entry. Had to correct her down, able to hold on to 3rd, but again loses ground. Trying to take that 2nd spot, so far unsuccessful. Rick Hendrick continues to trail in that 4th position. Daniel Whitley riding in your 5th spot as your top 5 then separating themselves from the rest of the running order. Sean Deskins a little bit further back in 6th. Blake Hendricks in 7th. Mark Henry, Cammy Bell, and Brent Yarnell continue to round out your running order. White flag in the air for Caleb Montgomery. Works her onto the back straightaway one more time. He'll find turns 3 and 4 here in heat race number 5. Couple of cars come together on the back straightaway. They keep them upright as the checker flag drops in this one. Montgomery picking up the heat race win. John DeWeese crossing in 2nd. Ricky Lewis with the final transfer into the feature event. Daniel Whitley, Rick Hendricks. They're the 2 drivers that made contact on the closing lap. Whitley able to make his way by. Hendricks unofficially going to round out your top 5. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, a Ryder 360 under the hood of the Eagle Energy. Central Coast Equipment Repair number 3. Race fans, give him a hand. Caleb Montgomery picking up the win in MP Environmental Heat Race number 5. As he's going to take it down to the infield. And we're going to take it down to Drake York.
Thank you so much, Brian. Caleb Montgomery, your winner of MP Environmental Heat Race number 5. And Caleb, no doubt about it, in the time you spent with the Ultimate Sprint Car Series in 2024, it's been good. But what would it mean to add a Turkey Night win on top of your already growing non-wing sprint car resume?
That'd actually be really cool. I mean, I just really like this race because we're close to the beach. We get to camp. My sister comes out. My mom comes to the races, so it's definitely a big family event. And I like seeing all my people from all around the world come here and race. And it would mean a lot to win Turkey Night, but it means a lot to win the MPE heat race. I didn't even know that Rex sponsored this one. Thanks for the $100 possibly, Rex.
Maybe the $100. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Caleb Montgomery's just happy to be here, race fans. He's your winner of MP Environmental Heat Race number 5, of course, one of the most versatile drivers up and down the West Coast.
So again, congratulations to Caleb Montgomery, taking home the 5th and final heat race for the USCS Sprint Cars. That's going to wrap up their heat races. We've now locked in 15 drivers. 9 will be determined from the LCQs. We'll have 3 last chance qualifiers. Take the top 3 from each. Next up will be practice session number 2 for the USAC Midgets.
The USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship back onto the speedway for another round of practice. Semi-feature events will be coming up next for your Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. And each of those will be 12 laps, top 3 out of each. Move on into your feature event. Gil Kuhn's back on track in the 63. The Indiana driver in the Joe Dueling entry here in the front straightaway. Ronnie Gardner in the 68, the 5-time USAC Western States Midget champion. Buddy Kofoy in the 71, the Mobile 1. KKM Kerbeck and Janian entry also back on the speedway. Carson Macedo in the 99 AU. Going to bring it around to the front stretch here. 86, Mason Persley on track. The 81, Ty Gibbs, the pristineauction.com, number 81. And Zach Weigel, the Dave Noss Auto Outlet CV Industries, number 89, also back to the racing surface. Going up and working the high side of turns 3 and 4. Bottom of 1 and 2, still the preferred line. Just a few of them going up and kind of testing it out, but still just a bunch of fluffy stuff up there. As Mason Persley, if you're checking on live timing and scoring, it says Chad Boat. That's because it's a Chad Boat entry. That is actually a backup car. As they're shaking that down just in case. Mason Persley a 12.753. His teammate Zach Weigel second quick at a 12.876. Kyle Larson a 12.973. Buddy Kofoid 13.012. And Ronnie Garner 13.089. The 5 quickest drivers on track. Gavin Miller, the sound gear number 97, making his way back out to the speedway. Kevin Thomas Jr., the Indy Fuel, abacus number 57. Kaylee Bryson, the Indy Power Sports, abacus number 58. The Eibach number 97K. Also back out to the speedway, Cale Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. Tyler Courtney, the NOS, FloRacing number 23C. Back out to the racetrack, Corey Day, Durst Sander Engineering, followed by Spike number 4. A little glare off of the tail tank, but I believe Kyle Haas is also down in the infield. And indeed, Haas in the Southern Wood Products number 20X making his way out to the speedway.
Looking at that 51 Lucas oil machine driven tonight by none other than Kyle Busch. Man, I tell you, Brian, Kyle really impressed me at Bakersfield just a couple of nights ago, shaking down that entry, and really what robbed him of a great night was a loose battery connection. They put apparently a replacement battery in the car and the connection wasn't good, but other than that, drove a stellar race.
Haas coming to a stop over in turn number 3. Know thy Haas. There is Todd Haas, Kyle Haas, Big Haas, and Ryan Haas. Watching NASCAR, you watch Big Haas down in Texas. You're watching Midgets. You got Todd and Kyle here, and if you need graphics done in Tulsa, call Ryan Haas. Tyler Courtney so far the quickest driver on track. As I say that, KTJ coming around, the Indy Fuel number 57 KT. Taking away third, Courtney firing back, takes it up to second. 12.859, Corey Day with the Mopar thumping under the hood. He'll jump up to second quick overall, quickest on track at a 12.784. Corey Day going to be the quickest driver in this session at a 12.784. Tyler Courtney was second quick on track. He's third quick overall at a 12.859. Gail Drake, fifth quick on the field at a 12.963. Sixth quick, Kevin Thomas Jr. Fourth in the field, Gavin Miller. Top five on track at a 12.985. But again, if you're looking at live timing and scoring and wondering, is Chad Boat racing? Well, no, that's why Chad Boat entry. That is the backup car for Dayson Pursley. Dayson bringing it out and shaking it down just in case. Tanner Thorson, the 25 in, the Trent Shoring entry. Fresh off of win at Bakersfield, making his way down into the infield. The 71K, Cannon McIntosh, the Gear Wrench, KKM Curb Agajania machine, Zach Dom, the Smart Machine tool, Bileman Motorsports number 31B, the Curb Breakers number 67, Emerson Axum back out to the Speedway. Caden Sorelli, number 32, making his way down into the infield. Matthew Radisich, we saw a lot of smoke pour out of the bonnet on his number 14 earlier. He is back ready to give it another shot here. Michael Facento in the 14T, and Drake Edwards, the Avante Windows and Doors number 3P. Also down in the infield for this practice session. Tanner Thorson's trip to victory lane, putting him in the top 10 of all-time winning drivers with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Fourth overall win on the season. Granted, third overall win on the season, excuse me. First of the season in USAC competition. Picked up a Power I win up at Port City earlier this year. And of course, went to victory lane with the Kubota High Roller Series at Silver Dollar back in August. 210 USAC National Midget starts, 30 wins, 97 top fives, 159 top 10 finishes for the driver, the number 25M. Originally out of Minden, Nevada, hailing out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma these days. Radicic, the driver that, brought us under caution. Ronstadt Street of Racing entries that are currently on track. Jacinto in the other one. Thorson, quickest driver on track. He's second quick overall at 17.384. Thousandth of a second better than Corey Day. Drops into third. Tyler Courtney and Fort Zach Weigel currently fifth. So the cars will make their way back to the pit area. Real quick, let's check in with Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. We saw Matthew Radicic spin there in turn number 2. Of course, the Kiwi coming in for his first career NOS Energy Drink USAC National Series appearance. And the best way to tell those streeter cars apart is the national emblem of New Zealand. There's a flag on the back of Radicic's car. Of course, that emblem, one of the strong meanings for New Zealand. It means hope, resilience, and there's a lot of good things that tie in with that New Zealand flag. And when a lot of things that come over there with that flag, of course, the silver fern. We see a lot of drivers when they come over here and race stateside, they have that silver fern on their race car. So for easiest way to tell those two race cars apart, Matthew Radicic last couple of years has been racing over in Australia in midget car racing, as of course speed cars over there. Saw him last year during Pro Speed Car Week and had a pretty solid week over there. And believe it or not, actually quite the big IndyCar fan. He owns his own IndyCar. It's an XIRL car, and he takes it on all sorts of road courses out in Australia. I believe he took it to a couple maybe V8 supercar races and did some demo laps in it. And he told me next year, if everything works right with shipping it here and visas and all that fun stuff that comes with traveling overseas, he's going to take it to the Long Beach Grand Prix. But for now, I know he's having the time of his life racing here at the Ventura Raceway, getting ready for the Turkey Night Grand Prix, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Ryan Timms back on track in the JBL number 67, the Toyota number 98. Going to push out to the racetrack. Tanner Carrick with KKM Kerbagajanian going to make his way out onto the back straightaway. Brody Graham at a Bakersfield. The B&B Oilfield Consultants, number 66, going to make his way out. The 51, Brody Fusen out of Bakersfield. The 5-1 Trucking, Stanton Spike Chassis, number 51. He is back out on track. Alex Karpowitz at a Spring Branch, Texas. And the Banks Power AMSOIL, Smith Titanium, Rockwell Security, number 19. Making his way over in turns 1 and 2. Jacob Denny at Galloway, Ohio. He was quickest earlier in practice here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. The Trent Shoring, Rodilla Fabrication, Ed Pink Powered Link Chassis number 25. Makes his way over onto the back straightway. The 101, Cade Lewis at a Bakersfield. The Wireless 101, Spike Toyota Machine, and the 55 also on track. Abby Holding out of Cloverdale, Ohio. The JFM HP Enterprises Chevrolet Triple X Chassis number 55. As we wind them up and set them loose again for practice laps. Once we wrap up practice here in USAC National Midget Competition, we will bring the sprint cars back out, our Ultimate Sprint Car Series, for their first of 3 semi-feature events, taking the top 3 out of each of those 12-lap affairs. few more sessions remain here in USAC National Midget Practice. If you haven't done so, now is a great time to check out nxtbets.com/playusac for your chance to win. See what's available in your state. And you can turn your passion for USAC racing into real cash rewards when you play along. These are for tomorrow. The odds provided by NXT Bets. Kyle Larson, the odds-on favorite at +152. Logan Seavey at 422. Buddy Copefoyd at 593, Dason Pursley at an 892, Corey Day at 946, Carson Macedo at 1335. Looking a little further down on the list, Ryan Tim sitting at 2625. Kevin Thomas Jr. at 9424, as is Justin Grant. Jason McDermott at 9801. Again, those odds provided by nxtbets.com to the United States Auto Club. But it's your chance to play along. As Play USAC is offering the fans ways to put money on your favorite drivers for a chance to win. Top sportsbook, daily fantasy providers, all offering odds and exclusive sign-up offers for USAC racing fans. Try out nxtbets.com/playusac for more information. To see what's available in your state, must be 21 years or older to participate. Void where prohibited. But now's the time, as the cars circle around in practice, to play along tomorrow for your chance to win. If you do win, post a screenshot of your winning bet slip to social media using the hashtag #MyUSACWin. Mentioned earlier, Dason Pursley hot lapping his backup car a little bit earlier. Back on track of the primary car here. PristineAuction.com, number 86 down the front straightaway. Jake Andriani in the 00 back on track as well. Sarna's number 20, the 15. CJ Leary, the Greenfield, Indiana driver. And the Dennis Hart-owned JFM HP Enterprises, Trent Shorey, number 15. 73. Cole Wakeham out of Simi Valley, California. The Nutri-Right Berry Growers, one-way Triple X, number 73. As white flag coming out on this flight of hot laps. Earlier, Dason Pursley at a 12.753 here on track in his primary car. Track undergoing quite a bit of change. Currently 10th on the grid at a 12.976. So turns 3 and 4 starting to widen out quite a bit during these practice runs for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Turns 1 and 2. Remains a little bit narrow here. We'll see if the sprint cars can burn another groove in here, as their semi-feature events will be coming up in just a little bit. Jason McDermott, the 8W, back onto the speedway. The Woodland Auto Display, number 8W. TJ Smith at a Fresno in the 32X, the Teltac entry, the 50. Dane Culver at a Riverside, California. Logan Seavey at a Sutter in the McVeigh Trucking, number 57, working down to the infield. Torgerson in the 88 at Glendale, Arizona. Jim Van Zant at a Prescott back onto the speedway as well. And Drollinger also back out to the racetrack at San Pedro, California in the Sweeney Motorsports Van Dyne Spike number 71. Opening semi-feature event for the Ultimate Sprint Car Series being called to the staging lane. Should be our final practice session here for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Once the semi-feature events wrap up, we'll have another set round of practice for the midgets. 30 laps in the sprint car feature event. And depending on time and track, we'll have midgets on track following our sprint car A main. Safari Pools and Landscaping number 77, Dalton Gabbard out of Peoria, Arizona, out to the Speedway. The 31, Jake Swanson behind the wheel of that machine, the Dave.com Smart Machine tool entry. Gail Coons, the number 63. Back out to the Speedway as well. Tyler Edwards, driver to Salina, Oklahoma, the Inferno Armor, Rockwell Security. Tops up here, but Quality Threads, number 14S. As we go to green. As that'll wrap up practice for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Ultimate Sprint Car Series presented by Inland Rigging. Semi-feature events next on the program. Looks like the tiller coming out, going to give it a little tickle here over in turns 3 and 4.